Alright, hello everyone. It's your favorite programming error that just refuses to be fixed, Code here, and welcome back to some Genshin Impact. Woohoo, a game that isn't FNF or Undertale Yellow. Imagine that, I play this game too. Specifically because a new update came out. So we have stuff to do. Specifically a whole new Archon Quest. And in addition to that, there's also this. Which I'm pretty sure is voice acted, but I'm not entirely sure. So let's get on over there and find out. Hi Spinne. Are you also in Gabe's stream? I know Gabe is also still playing Genshin currently. Well, it was categorized as Genshin, but I just saw him watching videos. So, you know. Alright, let's see. By the way, Spinne, do you know if this event is voice acted? It seems like it's a short event, but I think there was voice acting for whatever quest there is. I don't know. Okay, it's not voice acted. I think that confirms it. Great, then I'll do that on my own. Got it. That told me everything I needed to know. In that case, Archon Quest, which I think is interesting, because the Archon Quest took place in Fontaine, and then with a new update, we got new areas to Liyue, but the intermission is taking place in Sumeru. Which I think is kind of curious. XP all in the Pokemon ROM hack? Imagine hating grinding. Couldn't be me. Alright, let's go on over here. And see what is up. I'm curious. Very curious.
Gather.
I hope the audio? I think the audio should probably be fine. Or should I turn it up a bit more? It's probably fine. Then again, you know what, screw it. Genshin has a habit of being relatively quiet. Can't go wrong with turning it up a bit more. Alright, Catherine. Let's go.
Perfect. It's you two. I have a commission here that has your names written all over it. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say you're the only ones for the job.
The only ones for the job?
It's time!
If our help is really that important, it's probably some Archon class commission,
It
right?
is an Archon Quest after all. Never heard of that classification. Oh, totally never. We're happy to take this on. Which Archon do you need us to deal with today?
The Adventurers Guild doesn't employ that kind of classification system. In fact,
Alright.
this commission is also probably not nearly as intimidating as what you're expecting.
Well, what is it?
All
Tell
it asks
me.
us to do is to find a missing person.
Oh? Who's that? Not Dainsleif, right?
Huh? Then why did you say we were the only ones for the job?
I came across this commission while reviewing our backlog not too long ago.
Alright.
It seems simple, but our records indicate that over a dozen successive efforts to complete it have all ended in failure, despite attempts by several accomplished and renowned adventurers.
Ah,
With the
so you want to
reputation
tarnish
of
my
the
perfect
Adventurers
record
Guild
by giving me an
and the
unbeatable
performance
mission.
of the Sumeru branch at stake, it's in our best interest to assign this commission to the adventurer with the highest completion rate over the past few years.
Well, that's us for sure.
But I can't guarantee we'll be able to complete it either.
All I'm asking is for you to give it your best shot.
Also, hi, Deadly. Hello, hello, hello.
If it proves to be beyond your capabilities as well, I'll talk to the
Hello.
commissioner about
Hi.
canceling the commission.
Okay, so who are
How
we
are
looking
you?
for? And what is it about this commission that's made it so hard to complete?
This commission was jointly issued by the residents of Vimara Village. They say one of their own villagers has gone missing.
I'm doing pretty
But
well.
the problem is, They don't know the missing person's name. They can only provide information about his general appearance.
They're all from the same village, but they don't even know his name?
I'm currently on a very interesting new quest, apparently.
If so many adventurers have failed to complete this commission, maybe this missing villager doesn't exist at all.
Or
Could it be some sort of a
or that
prank or
missing
something?
villager is dead.
Unlikely.
Could also be.
Several villagers came by to issue the commission, and judging by their appearance and tone of voice, they seemed incredibly sincere. It certainly didn't seem like a joke to them.
Again, one solution would be to
Besides,
just say that missing
putting up a
villager is
commission
dead.
requires a processing fee. There aren't many upsides to a prank that costs Mora to carry out.
True, that would be a little strange. Coming back from my break on Fridays, so looking forward to being able to play games. For the first... You know you can play games without streaming. Again, I'll try to be there. I need to check when you go live on Friday, because I have plans during the day, and obviously I'm gonna stream late. But I should have a generous time frame where I have plenty of opportunity to swing by and join you for some rounds of Phasmo. My PC for 3 months, everything's been on my phone. Damn, okay. Really committed to taking a break there. So you think that break worked out well for you? I would hope so.
In any case, it would probably be best to go to Vimara village and ask around first. The Adventurers Guild does have some information on hand, but I would say anything you can learn directly from the villagers would be far more reliable. The best way to avoid misdirection is to go to the source.
All right then, let's go! I'm starting to get really
Alright.
curious about this whole thing.
Okay. I'll have to mark that in my calendar, so I am aware that I can swing by. Alright. Let's see if we can find this missing villager. Let's see. Gotta talk to some residents. Get some more
We made it to
intel.
Vimara village! Why don't we talk to some of the villagers to learn a little bit more about the missing guy?
That is the obvious
If
strategy.
this commission is really as challenging as Catherine made it out to be, we're gonna need to carry out a very detailed investigation.
Luckily, investigations are what I'm good at. Master Detective Code, back on the case once again. Alright. So much gambling. Look forward to the gambling. How much gambling can I do right now? Let me check. So I have 30 pulls and I have 36,508 primos. Yeah, that works for me. And 34 more pulls on the standard banner.
Where do you want
Better
to
get my
go
first
next?
5. You better.
If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist.
What the fuck?
Hello there.
It's
You
not a
looking to buy
serious
something?
amount I got
I do
there.
business in this area.
Oh, no, we're adventurers. Catherine sent us to look into a commission here in Vimara village.
Alright, here we go.
Ah, so you're here about that then.
That's like 20.
You're not the first, that's for sure. We've certainly
Well,
made a
I'm
lot
saving
of
up.
trouble for you all.
I always save
To
up.
be honest, we aren't holding out much hope. Many adventurers have made their way out here, confident they'd be able to help us, only to leave soon after with nothing to show for their efforts.
Excuse me,
We've
I've,
pretty much had it
I've
up to
completely
here in
found my
questions,
challenging tasks.
and the area around the village has practically been overturned in search of clues, but no one has been able to make any headway.
So, this person we're looking for, what's his name? Where did he live? Does he have any relatives?
I thought we said we don't know the name.
I don't know. I really have no clue. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, guess you are really sick of answering questions.
So if you don't know his
I'm
name or
sorry,
where
I
he lives or
didn't mean to
anything,
sound
then how
short
do you
with
know
you.
it's a person from
I
this
was
village?
actually just giving you my answer to your questions.
But seriously, how do they know there's a person from this village that has gone missing if nobody knows anything about that person? Okay. Blame you. Honkai Impact 3rd, I don't play at all. I've never booted it up. As for Honkai Star Rail, I have booted it up a little bit, but I don't play it a lot. Like, I logged into that game, I think, twice. Once because I wanted to at least give it a shot, and then a second time when I heard there was a free character you could get just by logging in. And that was about my time with Honkai Impact Star Rail. Or Honkai Star Rail, not Impact. Honkai Impact 3rd is the one with the impact. I see that, Spinner. But I am still very much committed to Genshin Impact. And I shall remain committed to this game. After all, soon we'll get our second to last nation added. This is gonna be the last Archon Quest before we get Latland, right? I'm looking forward to it. New nation means so much new content. Is there anything else you can tell us?
I know it may seem like we don't have anything to offer by way of information, but I promise you, we all have a very strong impression of him. When you live in the same village as someone, you develop a lot of memories together, you know? We just don't know the specifics. Maybe we did at one point.
A lot of memories
that
together,
information
huh?
is long gone by now.
And you don't even know that person's name.
At least that's what everyone in the village seems to think.
Later on, playing
We've all
that's
exchanged
also
what we know,
fair.
and that was the only logical conclusion.
All right. Specifics aside, then, what kind of person was he?
Young guy, in his early 20s probably. Incredibly kind sort of person, always willing to lend a helping hand. I'd chat with him when I didn't have any customers. I even saw him stick out his neck for others on more than one occasion. Very interesting guy, that one.
And nobody ever asked
Now
his
that you
name.
started talking about him, you don't seem nearly as down in the dumps as you did before. Seems like he left a pretty good impression on you.
But of course, everyone in the village is pretty fond of him. We wouldn't have issued that commission otherwise.
Alright.
There aren't many young people like him nowadays. So genuine and pure. To think that he just up and disappeared one day. I just hope nothing bad happened.
Could he have just moved away without telling anyone?
No, he's not the type to leave without saying goodbye. And anyway, moving away without being seen by a single person in the village?
And
There's
again,
no
you
way
don't
he
know
would
this
have never
person.
managed that.
Huh. Alright, thanks for the information.
Like,
We're
someone
go
isn't
ask
gonna
around
say
some more.
goodbye. You don't even know that person's name, so you clearly weren't that close after all. You'd think at least one person in the village would have asked them their name. But no. Oh yeah, we all like this person. Nobody knows who they are.
It's that guests I hear.
Alright, village chief,
Mama
you
dear.
better know
We're here to
something
help you
about
look
this
for the guy
guy.
that's gone missing.
Ah, so that's what brings you to these parts. Coming all this way for our sake. That's so very kind of you. With your help, I trust that young man's case is in good hands.
Could you tell us a bit about him?
Of course. I'm happy to help any way I can. With my
Please,
failing
any info.
eyesight,
We haven't gotten
I'm
anything
afraid
so far.
I can't offer much about his appearance, but I do remember hearing the sound of his voice. Not recently, of course. That loss has left me feeling quite empty. I don't think his parents are still living in the village, but somehow he never seemed lonely. In fact, he was usually the one
So no
offering
relatives we can ask
companionship to
either.
others. He would often take time to visit the elderly or play with the orphans in the village. And whenever someone had something on their mind, he was there to listen with open ears. He always knew just
Fire
what
fell
to
down on
say.
your desk? Big
As the
one?
village
Small
chief,
one?
I owe him many thanks. Helping
Spider
villagers
jump
navigate
scare?
difficult moments in their lives should have been one of my responsibilities. But he was often the one rising to the occasion.
Wow. He seems like such a nice and gentle person. No wonder his disappearance affected you all so much. But, you wouldn't happen to know any details about his name, address, or family situation, right?
Other than the fact that he had no family in the village, probably nothing.
I'm ashamed to admit it, but I just can't remember. No matter how you look at it, I should know those things. But for some reason, no matter how hard I try to remember, the information just doesn't come. Perhaps my age really has caught up with me this time.
It's okay. There's no need to force yourself to try and remember. We'll figure something out.
Again, how are we supposed to find this person if we have literally no information on them? I mean, I know I said, hey, Master Detective Code is on the case, I got this, but,
Well, Traveler,
I need at
what do
least
you
some
think?
info here. I only know you named Daddy Longlegs. But alright, I see. It's probably more to this case than meets the eye.
I don't think so, too. Like, the name thing. It's so weird that no one remembers his name. And nobody has been able to tell us anything about his family or where he lived. It's like this guy's been erased from reality or something.
It's more like he's someone who only exists in people's memories.
Wait, so you're saying it's not that he's been erased, necessarily, but more like he never existed to begin with?
Interesting
Okay,
theories
Paimon's
we
gonna need
got
some
here.
time to process that one. Someone who only exists in people's memories?
Could it be like what happened with Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? Like some sort of mass alteration of people's memories?
You two are the adventurers who just arrived, right? You're here for the Vamara Village Commission?
Yes?
Yep, sure are. We were just looking into the case.
Can you help us? In any way, shape, or form?
I'm so glad to hear that. Thank goodness you haven't given up. I've been so worried the Adventurers Guild might cancel our commission.
Well, I'm basically
My
the
name is
last
Atosa,
bet
by
they
the way.
have at solving
I grew up
this.
here in Vamara Village. Anyway, I just wanted to say, please keep searching for a missing villager. I'm begging you. You have to find
We'll
him.
certainly try our best, but if I can't do it, I'm sure no one can.
Yeah, no need to worry. We'll give it our best shot. So, were you close to the missing villager? Are there any leads you can give us?
I'm not sure this counts as a lead, but follow me. There's a place I'd like to show you.
Alright. Where are we going? Over there? Teleporting wouldn't make much difference. I can just walk immediately. Okay. Let's see. So what's so important about this area? About this tree?
Is this the place? Under this tree?
Yep. I know it doesn't look like much, but this place is very meaningful to me. It's so full of memories. We used to always sit together under this tree and talk. Sometimes
Okay.
we would look up at the clouds in the sky or stop to feel the wind against our skin. We could sit there for hours at a
When
time,
did this person
never realizing
disappear?
how long it had been.
Did it? Maybe
I
we can
was
figure out if
actually
that
adopted
person's
by the
disappearance
people of Vamar
coincided with
Village.
any other event that
The
happened
Forest
around
Rangers
that
found me in
time.
the woods as a child. I was surrounded by such good people, and
Because
growing
again,
up in
there's
the
not
village
very
was so
many leads we have.
lively. Still, there were times when I couldn't help but feel incredibly alone.
Alone?
How should I put it? When something's bothering you, or when you have good news to share, you always want to talk about it with somebody. But for
And
the
then
longest time, I didn't know
that one
who I
dude
could
showed
talk
up,
to,
who everyone's
or
so close
if I
to.
should say anything at all. Everyone has their own problems to deal with. Even if I might want to confide in others, I don't want to become a burden.
I mean, I think I get what you mean.
Really? You know exactly how I feel?
To have someone like that, a family member that I could talk to no matter what. But now I have a lot of friends who understand me and would be happy to hear me out.
Aww.
Because you're
Wow,
supposed to
that
grind
sounds really
spinner.
nice. You're quite lucky. When it comes to our missing villager, well, I guess you could say that to me. He felt like both a family member I could rely on and a friend who could really understand me. No matter what came my way, I knew I could always talk to him. He was so thoughtful and pure, and patient too. Whenever I talked to him, he would always seem so interested, as if the things I was describing were just as important to him as they were to me. Ever since he disappeared, there's been so much I wanted to tell him. No, none of those things matters now. I just really want to see him
Again, I need any kind of info.
You two must have been
When did
really
he
close.
disappear? What did he look like?
Did he ever tell you anything about himself?
He mostly just talked about interesting things he saw around the village. He'd share a lot of his own wild ideas as well. Oh, right! I did ask him about his parents once. But all he said was, they're not here anymore.
Probably not just not in the village anymore, but
I
dead.
didn't know whether that meant they had left the village or passed away, and I didn't want to pry.
Probably passed away.
Still not much to go off of.
Look at me. Talking your ear off and still nothing to show for it. I'm sorry I wasn't more help.
You helped us understand him better.
The last time I talked this much in one go was when we were still together. Come to think of it, every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk, just like right now. Time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours, the sun would still be at the same position in the sky.
Well, time always seems to pass slower when you're relaxed, right? What's wrong, Traveler?
Again, this person still might not be someone who exists, so that it was always the same time of day and never seemed to pass. Based on what we've learned, this is definitely not a regular missing persons case. What Atossa just told us about time could be the key to unraveling this whole mystery. Oh look, hillagirls!
Hey, look at those hillagirls over there.
Tohomon, of course.
Doesn't it seem like they're acting a little strange?
Of course, it's a Toho Pokemon ROM hack. Oh look, an Abyss Mage.
The Abyss Order. Could they be the ones behind all of this?
Well, they noticed us.
Uh-oh, we've been spotted! Quick, get ready to fight!
Oh, this should be an easy match.
Stabilize.
Because I have the totally legit Hydro Archon. Boom. That's a victory already. Oh, and there's more. Of course, couldn't be that simple.
Gather.
Come on, don't teleport away when I'm about to kill you.
By royal decree.
That was simple enough. Even with the
Thank you
backup.
so much. I wasn't expecting monsters to show up. If you hadn't been here, I'm not sure what I would have done.
It was no trouble.
The question we should be asking now is, what is the Abyss Order doing around here?
Now that I think about it, the hilly trolls around Vimara village have been a lot more active lately. They seem agitated and would often attack anything in sight. Chief Amadea doesn't allow the children to play in the area around the village anymore.
Maybe this missing villager is just an illusion that was cast by, that was utilized by some sort of, maybe not Abyss Order member, but a Hillage troll maybe? Because I now know, thanks to a quest I am still playing currently in Genshin, that yes, hilichurls can actually possess proper sentience and memory, and even take a human form. At least one of them can. And I've interacted with that one quite a bit. And they do, and they can, at least that one, does go out of its way to try to help people. So maybe we're dealing with one of those kinds of hilichurls here. And that's why the Abyss Order was like, that seems interesting. Just a guess. A random guess. Probably not correct. But we have we have basically no lead, so I gotta throw whatever theories I can on the table here and see what we got to work with.
Maybe the Abyss Order really is involved. Well, we should head back and check out the situation in Vimara Village just in case. If the Abyss Order is plotting something that could spell trouble for the villagers.
Alright, let's head back then. Oh, we're immediately getting brought back. That's even better.
Wait a second. That person... It's Dainsleif!
Well, there he is. I was wondering when we'd run into him. Makes sense that he's here with the Abyss Order acting up.
Ah, it's you two.
How is it going, my
A
man?
friend of yours? Well, I'll leave you all to it then. I should head back to the village and check up on Chief Amadea and the others anyway. Well, see you later.
Yep, see you later, Atosa!
Alright, Dainsleif, what have you been up to since we last met? It's been a hot minute.
Why do you always have to pop up out of nowhere like that? Is it your life's mission to jump scare us or something?
Yes.
It's hardly personal, or intentional for that matter. As long as you and I are both in pursuit of the Abyss Order, we're bound to cross paths.
Ah, so you're here to investigate the Abyss Order then. That would explain the monsters you were fighting just now.
So,
Naturally.
can
Hold
we maybe
on.
work together here?
Are you not here for the same purpose?
We're also on their tail, but I'll admit we ran into them on accident.
No matter. It may have taken you a while to catch on, but I'm sure you've also realized by now that there's something strange about this place. The Abyss Order is most certainly planning something in this area. Or worse, their plan could already be in motion.
So
you
what do we
think the
do?
Abyss Order is behind the hilichurl activity in the area?
As things stand, I highly doubt that is their primary motive. I would imagine the increased hilichurl activity is merely a byproduct of whatever it is they're really trying to accomplish.
Still, the hilichurl activity is causing a lot of problems for the people here. We should stick around for a while and protect the village, don't you think?
The best way to protect them
I mean,
is
we
by
have to
figuring
stick
out
around
what the
anyway
Abyss
to
Order
find
is truly
clues.
planning. That is how we prevent further tragedy.
Well, let's see what we can learn from the villagers, and after that, you also ask many answers.
And you shall have them. I never intended to hide anything from you. Don't worry. There should be ample time to talk.
You return to our village, gather intel based on what you've learned, question until eventually I could not read that.
Ah. So that was the commission that brought you here to Vimara
I
Village.
watched my anime subbed. I should be able to
Someone
read
who
quickly,
seems to
but
only
this game
exist
is
in
still
people's
too
memories.
fast.
That is indeed quite intriguing. I would agree that it's unlikely you have a simple missing persons case on your hands. However, any possible connection to the Abyss Order is still unclear. It appears all we have by way of clues is increased hilichurl activity. And that is certainly not much to go off of.
How about the intel you promised me?
Right! That mysterious voice he heard in his sister's memory. The one who called himself a sinner. Who is he?
Well,
Traveler, let me ask you this. Do you believe your sibling to have betrayed you?
in a manner of speaking, yeah, I want to have faith in her.
I sense hesitation in your words. After all, you still haven't figured out the whole truth of what happened. There's still hope for the two of you to reconcile. Irreparable damage has not yet been done. The sinner you wish to know about, his situation is different. He and his fellow sinners have long betrayed me, and long betrayed their nation. His name is Vedrfolnir, the Visionary. I'm loath to admit it, but he is also my kin, my older brother.
Drama!
Your brother?
What happened between the two of you?
There were 5 of them, the 5 sinners of Khaenri'ah. The wise Roptatyr, the visionary Vedrfolnir, Gold Rhindaughter, the foul Sertologi, and Rehir of Solnari, Rerir. No matter how eroded my memory may become, I will never forget their names. One day, I shall have my vengeance.
Vengeance shall be mine?
Some of those names sound really familiar. Rhindaughter is the one who created Albedo. Sertologi is Skirk's master. And the one we just learned about, Dane's brother, Vedrfolnir. If he was the voice of the sinner, then the one who inspired Clothar to create the Abyss Order was him.
Somehow everything is connected. If that's true, then the stone slates we found in that ruin in Fontaine, the ones that outlined Fontaine's prophecy, that was likely Vedrfolnir's doing as well.
They were once people of great esteem in Khaenri'ah, those who carried the hopes of the nation. They were the best of their peers, outstanding in their respective fields. 6 of us, together. We should have been the ones to prevent the disaster.
And
The
yet
ones
5
to
of them
stop
turned
the
into
Vinster
sinners,
King
all
from
except for you.
Continuing to
You're the
rock
only one
foundation
who
of
is
the
not
world.
a sinner of Khaenri'ah.
Yet, deep within, the 5 of them craved something more. They could not resist the call of the Abyss, and divided among themselves a power that could destroy the world. So they became sinners, but also transcendent beings, each in possession of world-shattering power. And when the cataclysm occurred, not one of them stood up in defense of their nation.
Wow.
Not one came forward to prevent the tragedy, and for that, they shall never have my
And
forgiveness.
then my sibling came into contact with your brother.
Indeed. If they are not stopped, the day is sure to come when they will also betray the entire world.
Must be hard to talk about all of this. But thank you for telling me.
Of course. As I said, I never intended to hide anything from you.
So, Dane, what have you been looking into all this time?
I've continued to investigate the questions surrounding the Loom of Fate. It's been quite some time since the initial operation was launched. By retrieving the eye of the first field tiller, we
Man,
were
that
able
was
to stop
forever
part
ago.
of their plan from coming to fruition.
Oh, Paimon remembers! Weren't they going to use it to corrupt Osial and make a god or something?
Indeed. However, it's obvious that was just some sort of technical experiment. The eye was integral to their plan, yet somehow, despite failing to obtain it, they've skipped the experimental phase and found some other way to keep moving forward. There are many signs pointing to that effect.
Then what should we do? It's not too late, is it?
Of course it's too late.
Our most pressing concern is to determine the purpose of the Loom of Fate. From there, we'll be able to deduce the Abyss Order's true objective.
And how do
Based
we
on the intel I've gathered so
that?
far, I suspect the Loom of Fate is related to the ley lines in some way.
The ley lines?
Traveler, you were able to observe your siblings' memories last time, yes? I believe that was due to the fact that the ley lines in that area were unstable.
Should we look for another area
My
with
recent
unstable ley lines,
investigation
maybe?
has shown that Abyss Order activity in a particular area is usually followed by a series of issues with the ley lines.
And one of the things that flows through the ley lines are memories.
Wait, then our commission here in Vimara Village. The person who seems to exist only in people's memories. Could it be connected?
It would seem so. Memories, ley lines, the loom of fate. The missing person that doesn't seem to exist. What's the connection between all this?
It's certainly possible. I'll join your investigation tomorrow.
Thank you,
This
Dainsleif.
missing persons case could very well turn out to be the key to unraveling these mysteries.
Well, if we're teaming up with Dane again, we're gonna need all the energy we can get. Let's try investigating somewhere a little further away tomorrow.
Alright! We're diving in head first. Oh look, in the game is time skipping for me. I don't have to do it myself. I love it when the game does that. Saves me a lot of trouble.
Oh, so tired. Paimon used way too much brain juice yesterday. It's all Dane's fault saying all that complicated stuff.
My head's a mess.
Well, let's go find Dane. We've got a lot to do today.
Imagine Dane only exists in our memories. Wouldn't that be something? Alright. Dane, what's up? Ready to investigate?
Dane? Hello, Dane? Why are you just zoning out over here?
Did you also not sleep well?
Did something happen?
What's wrong, Dane?
The missing person from your commission. Could you describe them to me?
Oh, young guy? Early 20s? Seriously, Dane, what's going on?
There appear to be certain memories in my mind that weren't there before.
Huh.
Memories of him.
Maybe we just talked too much about him yesterday and you had a weird dream or something?
No, it wasn't a dream. They're memories. Memories that suddenly appeared in my mind after I woke up.
So this ley
And
line
I'm certain I've
instability
never
is
met
still a
this person
thing.
before.
Well, what exactly did you remember?
I remember handing him the eye of the first field tiller.
Do you still have it?
What? Okay, so this missing person definitely has something to do with the Abyss Order then.
Indeed. And it appears he possesses the ability to implant memories into the minds of others.
How is that even possible?
Wait then. All the memories the villagers have of him, could they be fake too? Maybe they never knew him at all.
Do you still have
do
the
something
eye of
like
the first
that?
field tiller? Or is it actually gone now they have the memory of giving that away?
Whatever the Abyss Order is planning, an important truth has been revealed to us this morning.
What sort of truth?
That their goal is still to obtain the eye of the first field tiller. They haven't stopped searching for it. I am the only person who knows its location. Perhaps implanting that particular memory was an attempt to interfere with my mind in some way.
What if that memory was real? Or alternatively, what if us going to check if the memory was real was a trap? Like they implanted that memory to make us think, oh god, the eye of the first field tiller might be gone. So we would go to double check. That way they could follow us and find out where it is. Maybe that's the trap.
Your concerns are not entirely unfounded. I don't believe the Abyss Order is capable of altering reality like that just yet. However,
Just yet, oh boy.
considering their single-minded pursuit of the eye, I would say an equal level of caution is in order on our part. Come with me. We must check whether the eye is still in our possession.
I feel like this is a trap. They're gonna track us.
Oh, so you're going to take us to where you hid it?
But what exactly? What if someone follows us? If we go straight there and someone is on our tail, aren't we just exposing the eye's location? Maybe that's the reason the Abyss Order implanted that memory in the first place, to force Dane to confirm the eye's location. Exactly what I said. Given what I know of him, though, I'm sure Dane has already thought of that possibility. It seems like he might have a plan. Lead the way, Dane.
Of course.
Maybe he also has another hiding spot where he hid a fake, and we're going to a fake, so the Abyss Order will try to grab that fake instead. Alright then. Of course you can't. You can't find a code that works. I don't work.
So you hid it way out here? Not an easy place to discover, that's for sure. Well, let's go check to see if it's safe.
Traveler, wait.
Are you okay?
We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
Wait, followed by we have no time to lose. What was they going to tell me just now?
Hey, wait up!
Maybe he's in a daze. Maybe he actually hasn't thought of the possibility that someone is following us because he's not thinking clearly right now. They already altered his memory. They might be messing with his mind in some other way. Place of Revelations, huh? The answer will soon be revealed. When you step within, there seems to be something strange going on with Dane. Well then. Let's go inside. Nice spot you got here, Dane. Chests! That means loot! And that also means primos, hopefully.
Oz, repeat.
Solidify!
Jumpy Dumpy, I summon thee!
Oh wait, there's more. They called for backup, imagine that.
By royal decree!
It appears the mechanisms here have changed over time. You can access the upper floor through the side door. Perhaps you should try reactivating the mechanism over there.
There's no chests after all, I was mistaken. Fine. Always take a good look around. Just checking. No, there were no chests. Okay. You never know, sometimes they do hide chests around the area randomly. Well, I mean, this one isn't particularly hidden. But yeah, that's 5 Primo Gems. I don't want to miss out on that stuff, you know? Hi there, Ruin Guard. You wanna fight? Seems like you do.
Oz, revealed!
At least they're very easy to take down. I remember when these things used to be intimidating. They're really not anymore. Give me version 6.9. One day, maybe. Who knows? Well, then again, not sure how likely that's gonna be. Considering that we're on 4.7 and the next version is probably gonna be 5.0. So even when we get to this, if we get to the 6-point mark, who knows if they'll stick around for 9 different versions on that. Okay, so it seems like I have to clear 3 more areas. Can do. At the gold scar? What do you mean?
Make sure all the runes are pointing in the direction indicated by the light. That should unlock the mechanism.
Okay. Oh, okay, I see what you want me to do. Okay, rotate this. This. And that.
The door's open.
Alright.
Let's go. Our destination
legendary
is just
gun.
up ahead.
Ah, yes. You know, I wouldn't know that because I haven't touched Fortnite ever. Not even with a 10-foot pole. I would never dare. But yeah, guns in Genshin. I mean, to be fair, there are guns in Genshin. Guns do exist. Mostly wielded by enemies. But some playable characters do use guns in some of their moves. But it's not its own weapon type. Oh wow, look at that, I can actually see a Door of Resurrection again. That's not very common. Nowadays they're just hidden. But I do... Okay, I forgot that... I actually did not remember that you can change your party setup at those doors. Did not remember that was a thing.
Looks like we can't go any further.
Something's happening.
Guard. I sense the presence of the abyss.
Time to fight? Oh look, it's one of those heralds.
It's the Abyss Order! They're here!
I couldn't tell you, Spinner, I couldn't tell you. I think that's a new one. I don't remember fighting a Cryo Abyss Herald before. I remember Pyro, Electro, and Hydro. Oh yeah, pretty sure this is new. So hooray! One more element covered. So we're still missing Dendro, Animo, and Geo of this heralds. Any others? Anyway, that's a victory.
Just as I suspected. The false memories were a trap. The Abyss Order just wanted to follow us here. Now that they're in the vicinity, we should have a chance to see.
To see what?
Dane?
You dying?
What's wrong?
Can you feel that? There's been a disturbance in the ley lines. It must be the work of the Abyss.
I don't feel anything.
Wow, you must be really sensitive to that sort of thing. Paimon doesn't feel it.
You too. Do as I say. Use that mechanism over there and leave this place.
Leave you here on your own? Will you be alright?
The Abyss Order is putting something in motion. If you return to Vimara Village, I suspect you might finally have the opportunity to locate the missing villager.
Alright,
Just
if you
think of
say
it as a
so.
way to divide and conquer.
Alright, don't die. Dane does have a point. But something still feels off. What am I missing? I don't know about this. Oh? What is this presence walking up to Dane? Seems like a very powerful presence emitting an aura. Is it one of the sinners? Oh god, no! Worse!
I knew going along with your trap would be the only way to meet with you face to face.
Lumine, why? Can I have that sword, please?
You risked your safety and that of the Eye? That's quite the gamble, Dainsleif. But I believe that I am the one walking into a trap laid by the Twilight Sword.
So you came here all on your own? What about those followers of yours?
Why did you send me away?
When the
Did you
Twilight
not want
Sword
us to
prepared for
reunite?
battle, any army I could send would only be marching to their doom. Better that I face you alone. I know you must have a lot to say, but if it's a conversation you want, you'll have to defeat me first.
Well, listen up, Dainsleif. You might be strong, but this is the sister of the main character. And she can be the main character depending on the first choice in the game. You're basically facing someone with main character status here. You ain't gonna win. I'm sorry, Dane. You shouldn't have sent me away, you idiot!
All out of whack. We better hurry back to Vimara Village and see what's going on.
If only he didn't send me away, we could have been reunited with our sister again. Dane, you motherfucker.
Hey, look at those hilly trails over there.
They seem strangely calm. Debbie! How's it going? The resub again? That's so many resubs. Hope you are well. I know you're just probably just checking in again. because you're always rather busy, but I still appreciate that. Especially with, again, so many resubs. It's 3 years. Still can't believe it. We're so close to 3 years on that. Wow. Honestly, I am so grateful. You don't even know. Well, you probably do know, but still. Thank you so much. So, Debbie, are you excited for the return of Life is Strange at some point in the near-ish future? It will be very different without you psychoanalyzing everyone. But man, when I heard that Life is Strange is bringing back, yeah, they're making a new Life is Strange game with the main character from the first game, with Max. And when I heard that, I immediately remembered, like that gave me flashback to the good old days. And to you psychoanalyzing the teacher, like, damn. That was crazy shit. I'm very curious how that's gonna be with with Max being the character again. I'm very curious about that. You somehow knew. I should have trusted you immediately. My only claim to fame. Not mentioning the constant support you're doing over here. But I'm curious to see what the new game is gonna be like. But I have plenty of other stuff to do up until then. I haven't even checked when it's gonna release. I just know that they did an announcement trailer and that Max Caulfield is gonna be back. Seemingly as the main character again. We've all been... Pretty well, pretty well. Again, hope so have you. You know, I've been mostly well except for the usual amount of suffering that one can expect from streams. But a little bit of suffering happens all the time. For example, especially if you challenge yourself a bit much. Like, playing a Friday Night Funkin' song that is decently difficult, but giving chat the ability to mess with the game. Obviously that leads to suffering. Or trying to beat Undertale Yellow without using any consumables, even though you have no idea how challenging the game is gonna be. Obviously it's gonna make that a pain. But other than that, I am doing extremely well. Anyway, they seem strangely calm.
Weren't they acting super agitated just a little while ago? Why are they so calm all of a sudden?
Wait, I hear something.
In the new world, they bade farewell to the shrouded sun.
Oh? Reasonable amount of suffering makes for content, of course. That is true. That is true. After all, if it weren't for suffering, I never would have played Slender on stream. Damn, that was forever ago. 50 followers special, if I remember correctly. Memories. That was 3 years back. That was so long ago. So very long ago. I mean, we're slowly coming up on the 4th channel anniversary, if I'm not mistaken, so... Yeah, I think that's sometime next month. I have to check. I have it marked in my calendar. I'm definitely gonna do something special for it. I'm still trying to think of what exactly I'm gonna do for it. Still can't believe I've actually managed to do this stuff consistently for almost 4 years at this point. Damn. Times less followers, that's crazy. That is crazy. Honestly, we're getting closer and closer to 1,000 people. And that is just unreasonable. I never would have expected to get to that point. Then again, 4 years is quite a big time frame. Still.
At last, they no longer needed to dwell on their suffering, or try to differentiate between various thoughts of blasphemy. Such was the price they paid, and thus their souls became cleansed and pure.
Did you hear that? What was that sound just now?
You heard it too, Paimon?
It sounded so gentle. Could that voice be comforting the hilichurls in some way? Oh, this is weird. Let's check if this is happening anywhere else.
To the village!
Looks like the same thing is happening over here too.
Just the YouTube short
The
secret for the
hilichurls are
almighty
calm.
algorithm. Considered it like once or twice to make like short clips or something. I could just take a bunch of the clips that have been created here on YouTube and just upload them as YouTube shorts, probably. That way you guys who clip me, the clippers make the content. It's that easy. I mean, it would probably not be the worst idea to do that. I mean, the little clips do exist after all. They would be perfect for that kind of stuff. Not sure the yeah, let's maybe not that one. Maybe not that one, okay? And I haven't made highlights in forever. In the very, very olden days of the channel. In the very, very, very beginning of the channel. I made shorter highlights of the streams using the built-in Twitch highlight function. Does anyone even use that? I don't think a lot of people use that function for anything other than, you know, keeping VODs. Most people just use the highlight stream function for just making sure the VOD stays around permanently. I remember I actually used that to make highlights in like the first few streams, and I was like too lazy to keep it up.
You see, we're both still here. We've reclaimed an endless amount of time to love. Release your tears. You no longer need to hold back your sorrow.
It's that voice again. So many hillagers.
It looks like they're sleeping.
And they all have food, both of them apparently.
In the end, he whispered, softly.
Oh, so the most popular on the of course. It makes sense that those would draw people in for obvious reasons.
Sleep well, Father. Sleep well, my beloved people. When you awake, that which differentiates us shall be no more.
It almost sounds like a poem or some kind of story. Well, now that the Hilichurls have calmed down, Vimara Village should be safe at least.
One would assume so.
Let's put this situation to the side for now. Dane said this might be our chance to find the missing villager.
He probably just said that so we get out of there and not meet our sister. As he is fighting our sister. How could he? Oh, I can't even teleport. The game refuses to let me teleport right now. Well, I guess it's not that much of a walk. Oh, here we are. Back in the village. Alright, do you remember this one person now?
Grandpa Medea, is everyone alright?
Because I feel like I've regained my life.
Something nearby.
I mean, that
The
makes
Abyss
sense.
Border?
I mean, look at them. Yeah, they did kind
This
of
is the
border
first
me in.
I'm hearing of it. Thank you for your concern, but as far as I'm aware, it's been business
I mean, honestly, there's been a lot going on, but good
village.
on you for reclaiming your life,
Well,
because I'm
that's
still
good to
shackled
hear.
by this game.
Oh, also, you didn't
Playing
happen
it
to come across
daily
any clues about the missing
without
villager while we
exception.
were gone, did you?
Well, we're getting close. There's only 2
Someone's gone
nations missing
missing,
now, and
say?
then we have
Who
all
would that
7
be?
nations in the game. You don't remember? It's just got even more complicated.
You know, the young guy from Vimara Village. The one you've been looking for all this time. You posted a commission with the Sumeru Adventurers Guild. That's kind of the whole reason we're here, actually.
For the disposable and
missing
disposable
persons
income, damn.
Ah, I do apologize, you two. I hope I'm not worrying you too much. I'm sure it's just my age making me forgetful again. At least right now, I can't seem to recall whatever it is you're referring
So,
to.
Not only
Perhaps
does
you should
nobody
try
remember this
asking
person's name or
someone else.
anything, now they don't remember that person existed.
All right. Thanks for your help, Grandpa Amadea.
That just that does make it a lot more complicated to find this missing person, if they ever existed.
Something's definitely not right. We just talked to Grandpa Amadea about the missing villager. There's no way he could have forgotten all about him just like that. What do you think, Traveler? Could everyone's memories of the missing villager have been erased again?
It's too early to say. We should check in with the others first.
You're right. We should narrow down the possibilities first. Let's go ask someone else then.
And if they don't remember, they don't have the old age as an excuse. Gotta head out? Some work to do. Alright. Not a month in between, really now. But only if you have the time. Anyway, again, thank you so much for the resub once again, for that continued support. It means a lot. And I'll see you around, Debbie. Definitely. Alright, let's see if this person knows anything.
Someone's gone missing? Who?
Just as expected.
So they all don't remember.
That guy you said a bunch of nice things about earlier? The one you always used to chat with. He's around 20 years old, and you said he was a kind, warm-hearted person?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Do you?
Really? You remember?
There aren't many young people who've earned that kind of praise from me. If you're certain that's what I said, then there's only one person who fits the bill. No doubt about it. But why'd you say he's gone missing?
Have you seen him recently?
Yeah, I just saw him leave the village. There was someone else with him, too. They couldn't have gone far.
It's not the same person. It's a random other person that is just like deserving of that praise.
Bayram seems to remember him, and apparently he just saw him? Do you think maybe it's not that there's something wrong with people's memories, but that we've somehow returned to a time before he went missing?
I doubt returning to the past would be that simple. Given everything Dane mentioned about disturbances in the ley lines, I'd say it's far more likely this is related to memories in some way. I need to think carefully. What's really going on? Alright, time to put stuff together. People have forgotten about the missing person. Interpret.
Just like what happened with Greater Lord Rukadevada, no one remembers him. Because there's been a change in people's memories.
We are presently traversing someone's memories.
If this person only exists in people's memories, maybe we're in someone's memory right now.
And we've returned to a point before the disappearance took place.
If we really did travel back to a time before he disappeared, that could explain why the villagers said he hadn't gone missing.
I feel like out of all of this, again, that seems unlikely. We could be traversing someone's memories. Pretty sure we've done something similar before. People have forgotten about the missing person. Seems like the most obvious answer, so I don't think that's it. I'm gonna say presently traversing someone's memories.
Right! Paimon totally forgot about the ley line disturbances. We're in someone else's memory.
Alright, so how does that info help us is the question.
Just like how you entered your sibling's memory last time.
But whose memory are we in is the question.
That would also explain why we seem to be at a time before he went missing. It's a memory after all.
If we really are in someone's memory, then this is our chance to find him.
Right. If he's someone who only exists in people's memories, then we're finally on the same turf. But didn't Bayron just say that he saw him leave the village with someone? Where should we go look for him?
I mean, again, he couldn't have
Who knows
gone
how long
far.
this ley line disturbance is gonna last? We might not have that much time, and we don't even know whose memory this is.
Let's go through what we know so far.
Good idea. That'll help us narrow things down. We pretty much figured out that the missing villager has the ability to
Implant memories into the minds of others.
Right! That! Could we try to figure out more about him using what we know of his ability? Like, does it maybe leave a trace that would somehow give him away?
Implanting memories into the minds of others must be an imperfect process. There's no way the new memories could perfectly blend in with the old ones. There has to be some kind of tell. Time not passing. We're going to the tree. I'm gonna listen to everything. False memories are easily forgotten.
There's a difference between memories that arise from lived experiences and those that are implanted into the mind. Perhaps it has something to do with time.
Scenes from false memories will not change.
All the memories seem to be set in or near Vimara village, but I'm still not sure if they're restricted to this location.
And of course, there's this. Time does not pass. Interpret.
If time was allowed to pass within the false memories, there's a higher chance they might conflict with someone's original recollection. That would make it much harder to avoid suspicion.
Which is why this is the conclusion I will submit.
All this time and the sky hasn't changed a bit. That must mean time isn't passing.
Well then, again, I think we should go to the tree.
That's the tell of the fake memories.
We might be in that girl's memories,
implanted
actually.
memories are basically
The one who
taking
chills
place
at the tree with
outside of the
with the
regular
dude.
24 hours of the day.
Well
If
then,
the
let's check
memories
that out.
included the regular passage of time, it would be easy for people to tell that something was off. Like there could be overlap or something. People might start to wonder why they remember doing two different things at the same time of day. That's why he makes sure the memories take place at a specific moment in time rather than over a period of time.
If we consider this in conjunction with what we already know, then the question of whose memory this is seems to have an obvious answer. Sir, but I'm gonna listen to the other interpretations too.
Dainsleif had memories implanted into his mind. Could it be that it's happened more than once? We thought Chief Amadia forgot about the missing villager, but it turns out we're at a moment in time before the village issued the commission.
It's this one.
The color of the sky coincides with the moment in time she described.
Yup. Submit that conclusion.
Oh, right! That's exactly what Atosa described!
So we're going to the tree. We are going to the tree.
Come to think of it, every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk, just like right now.
Atosa, where'd your memory?
Time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours, the sun would still be at the same position in the sky.
Yep, that has to be it! This is definitely Atosa's memory.
Let's go to the tree.
Yeah, that's where they'll be.
Alright, still walking because teleportation is not within my repertoire anymore. Because people don't remember teleport points, apparently. Gabe! Thank you for the raid! How's it going? How was your Genshin stream? Were you also watching random videos, if I saw that correctly? Out of safety reasons, I didn't watch too much, because obviously I would risk spoiling myself, potentially. I hope you're well. I hope you're well. I hope everything went well in the stream. Welcome, raiders. I'm currently doing the Dainsleif Archon Quest thingy. We already know that Dane is currently in the process of facing off against my sister. How could he? How could he send us away? We were finally gonna reunite. And he just sends us off on our merry way.
So, you see, Granny Jahiet was a mercenary when she was younger. She just talks like that out of habit. She's not trying to scare the children on purpose.
Hi.
Oh, there I go again. Always talking about my own things. Do you maybe have anything you want to share? It's okay if you don't.
I like this quest.
You-
Well, I'm sure
you
I'm gonna
could
enjoy it
also
even more
just
once I figure out what is up with
talk
this
about
random
what you
person in
think
everyone's
of me?
memories.
Oh, I think you're an incredibly strong and
Oh,
thoughtful
I
young
know
man.
that outfit. You're from
You'll meet many
Kamiya, aren't
amazing
you?
people and live a very happy life.
I
miss
recognize
someone
that
like me.
outfit.
Huh? Are those your friends over there?
Hi there. Finally found him, but why does he look kind of familiar?
Oh, right. This version of Atosa hasn't met us yet.
Friends? I guess you could say that. It must have taken them a lot of effort to find me. So...
Quite a bit of effort.
I should see what they need. I'm sorry, Atosa. We'll have to continue this conversation another time.
Another time, huh? Yeah, okay. I'll head back to the village then. Talk to you some other time.
Totally will work out. Alright, what's up with you?
It's nice to see you, Traveler. I believe this is the first time we've met.
And you know me. It's not, there's no way this is the same person from last time we talked to a Khaenri'ahn, right? You're factoring in the memories, the Abyss Order, the Loom of Fate, and everything else. I need to think of the one person that can connect all of this together. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Caribou? Is it? Is it Caribou?
Born into abject sorrow, he shall now become the Loom of Fate.
I'll check the other thing too.
The founder of the Abyss Order. The man who broke the curse of immortality.
And the visionary.
Dane's brother. One of the 5 sinners of Khaenri'ah. The one who stole the power of the Abyss.
It's been forever since the Caribou story happened. So the details are still a bit fuzzy since it's been so long. But maybe. Caribou was Caribou was specifically the Hilichurl, right? I'm gonna try this one.
You're Caribou Alberic.
Oh. You know me?
There we go,
That's
I
quite
got
the
it.
Surprise.
Despite
I don't
the
believe
details
I've
being
met
fuzzy.
you before. Oh, I see. It was the memory, wasn't it? Your sibling's memory. You saw the me from back then. This is Atosa's memory. I came here to say goodbye to her. But I suppose I'll just leave her a message instead. Come, let's find somewhere else to talk.
Alright, let's talk. Where are we going? Well, that's fancy. Can someone translate the Genshin Impact text? Because I can't read that shit. If anyone knows how to read Genshin Impact. The language of Tevat. Ooh, fancy. The proof of existence, huh? Fancy water, too. Alright. So, what are we gonna talk about, huh? You got me out here alone. What is this place?
I suppose you could call it the realm of my consciousness. I'm someone who no longer exists in the real world, after all. As you well know.
You look quite exhausted.
It's nothing. I still have enough strength to play the part of a good host. I've always hoped that I'd get the chance to talk to you like this. And now, the time has finally arrived.
So what do you want to talk to me about? This is a rare opportunity for me as well. I should try to learn as much information about CodeErr as I can. What exactly happened to you?
Extreme sorrow and pain. Hope and regret coursing through your veins. And a degree of abyssal power that defies comprehension. Father told me that once I possessed all those elements, I would become the loom of fate. But despite his intentions for me, I never truly became the loom of fate. I was merely used as a means for its construction.
Can you tell me more about that?
I died the moment I set everything in motion. The person you see before you now is nothing but a remnant of consciousness left over within the loom of fate.
So tell me about that loom of fate. CodeErr is dead. That's why he no longer exists outside of people's memories.
As for your question, the loom of fate is a device capable of weaving ley lines.
Weaving ley lines?
In its primitive form, it can only be used to create and implant memories. But as more of it is completed, its power becomes stronger and stronger, until finally, it has the power to weave real ley lines of its own. Once fully completed, the moment it gains the power to weave ley lines, it loses the lower level ability to influence memories. But it also becomes a tool that can change the entire world.
So instead of changing memories of the world, it changes the world itself. Huh. So that was the source of your ability to implant memories.
Yes. I have the ability to control the loom in its semi-completed form. I suppose you can think of it as a form of compensation. After all, its existence cost me my life.
So the memories that suddenly appeared in Dane's mind were implanted by CodeErr through the half-finished Loom of Fate. So you brought him back. That makes sense, but I'm still at a loss to why he went so far as to introduce himself to all the residents of Vimara village. You laid the trap for Dane, that we then turned into a reverse trap. Imagine I just get out of here and Dane is like, hey dude, I killed your sister, I'm sorry. Imagine. Oh, Sumeru script. So that's what it's called. Again, I wonder if that is actually something that can be translated. Why did you implant memories of yourselves into the people of Vimara village?
Ah, that. I was wrong to implant those memories. I'm sorry I caused so much trouble. Not only for everyone in the village, but for you as well.
Well, I mean, I'm just doing my job trying to find you.
Wanted them to feel like I once existed in this world.
Bit selfish.
As if
but I mean, they like you.
I had a chance at life.
So that's why I would have never guessed. No harmful intent there, but is there any kind of meaning to this? Does only existing in people's memories really count as living?
I know what you must be thinking. Why would I do something so meaningless?
Well, are you gonna answer that question then if you know that I'm thinking it?
But I just couldn't accept it. I had to know what it would be like if I had my own life. What kind of person I would be. What other people would think of me.
And they like you.
Chief Amadia, Baram, Granny Jahiat, Atosa.
Yeah, but all those memories are fake. They never happened.
No cataclysm, no curse. Just a quiet life in a peaceful village. I was curious, so I selfishly tried to have my own life. Even if that meant piecing together the version of myself that could have been. One memory at a time. I know it sounds stupid.
I mean,
After all,
it kind of makes sense, though.
my life ended a long time ago.
Meanwhile, Spinner is still just talking about cheat codes. Sad.
Any chance at living was stripped away from me when I was 8 years old. My consciousness left to mature in an illusory world of nothingness. Even the form you see before you was nothing but an invention based on my father's appearance. An imagined version of what I would look like if I had the chance to grow up.
In the end, this all stems from the tragedy that occurred in Canria back then. You know, everyone is looking for you.
I know. But there's nothing I can do to make them find me. If I could exist in the real world, I would return without a second thought and surprise them with the suddenness of it all. But, well, that's not possible for me.
As I understand it, even though you only appeared in their memories, your existence was a great comfort to them. They all believe you once lived among them.
I know.
Well, now that I've found you, let's continue this conversation some other time. Dane might still need my help. So we're gonna meet our sister after all, maybe?
Captain Dainsleif. Twilight's sword, you mean? No need to meet up with him. Things should already be settled on his end.
Settled? Oh boy. Is he dead or is my sister dead?
Exactly. As someone who could only exist in people's memories, the fact that I'm able to talk to you in my consciousness like this can only mean one thing. The Loom of Fate has already been completed.
What? The Loom of Fate is already complete? That means the Eye of the First Field Tiller must have fallen into the hands of the Abyss. Could something like that? Could something have happened to Dane? He's dead! Lumine killed him!
No need to worry about Captain Dainsleif. He's absolutely fine. The only reason he lost the eye was because I happened to guess exactly what he was planning. Captain Dainsleif has had the eye inside his body this whole time, hasn't he? His plan was to lure the Abyss Order to a false location, capitalizing on their pursuit of the eye in order to have the chance to confront the princess.
So... Alright, but what did you do to Dane if you didn't kill him?
He would then hand the eye to you and tell you to take it away from that location. That way, Captain Dainsleif could accomplish his own goal and ensure the safety of the eye all at once. A very thorough plan.
But Dane never handed me the eye.
That's right, because in his mind, he had given it to you already.
You... Oh, you tricked him. Oh, you tricked him so much. Used a false memory of me? Wait, does that mean he gave Dane a false memory? You made him think that. When?
Before you two entered that false location.
That's why he was trying to say something to me and then stopped. Oh, God.
Traveler, wait.
And then, never mind. Yep, and then he thought he gave me the eye there. Oh, these are... They are tricky.
We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
So, when Dane froze up back then, it was because a false memory was being implanted in his mind. No wonder.
That was when I implanted the memory of him handing you the eye. Given the tense situation at that time, Captain Dainsleif failed to notice anything out of the ordinary, and took that memory to be real. I'm sorry, Traveler, but I needed the Loom of Fate to be completed. And to do that, we had to retrieve the eye.
And obviously Lumine would win the fight, because she has protagonist powers. So no way Dane could best her. So Dane had the eye this whole time, until the Abyss Order took it away. I'm not sure there's anything we could have done. Now that Luminous Fate is complete, what are you planning on doing with it?
I promise I'm not trying to conceal anything from you, but I truly have no idea what the princess is planning. Tevat's ley line system is deeply entrenched in the planet. Creating new ley lines can neither replace nor extend the ones that already exist. In the face of everything they could be planning, I fear I'm too insignificant to even get a glimpse of the bigger picture. In any case,
Well,
I had my own use for the Loom of Fate, and my goal, at least, has been achieved.
your goal of probably having like the semblance of a life, but if the Loom of Fate is completed now, that means we're basically approaching the end game. There's still 2 nations left to explore. Maybe they need some time to figure out how to properly use it, and that's how we still get the time to explore the other 2 nations. But this feels like we're in the end game. Your goal?
You remember my father, don't you? Clotar Alberic. I believe you saw him in your sibling's memory. After he used the power of the Abyss to restore consciousness to my hilichurl form, I suffered from an indescribable level of mental anguish.
Alright, Loom of Fate, they basically explained they can use it to weave ley lines. Which basically means they can alter the world of Tevat as they, in some way, I don't know how, if it's truly as they see fit, but they can definitely alter the world in a few ways. What is it in Atlan? Hot waifus? Monica? No. She ain't gonna be in Atlan, I'm sorry. But also, hi Rob. I'm honestly just very curious as to how different the scenery is going to be, because the exploration is probably going to be fun.
To comfort me, my father told me a story. That this was a fairy tale world, where I had to take on the form of a little monster. That story managed to dispel my fears. Even if just for a moment. My goal was simple. To use the Loom of Fate in its near-completed form, when its ability to create memories was at its strongest, to implant a specific memory into the minds of the hilichurls.
So you're the one who calmed the hilichurls too,
memory,
that makes sense.
I would tell them a story.
And that's why they're so calm
just
now.
Like my father did for me. It was a story of fairy tales and love.
Hey, I see an annoying guy running toward me from yay distance, waving his arms in yay air like he totally oblivious to any attention he might draw to himself. Boy is Kaido, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, yay
no
kind
time
of friend
for
you never
emotions,
see
we gotta
yourself
talk
making
about
die,
Kaido.
but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but Luminary of Esti.
Alright, that boy is Kaido, indeed. Everyone's favorite luminary of the stars. So the thing that caused the hilichurls to calm down back then was Caribbear's story. So that was his goal. That was the only thing he wanted. He had a device as powerful as the Loom of Fate at his disposal, and all he wanted to do was to offer the hilichurls a moment of comfort and peace. Interesting. But very... very kind for someone who tricked us! So we're on Wait, you're actually working on translating that? So you're telling me it is translatable. How very interesting. Putting in the work.
I can't change the world. Not when I lost the very right to exist within it. Implanting those memories, that was the most worthwhile thing I could offer.
Perhaps. I think it was very meaningful indeed. Then the first 2 lines. Alright, interesting. Also nice watch streak you got there, Rob.
All that's left of my existence is a wisp of residual consciousness tied to the Loom of Fate. In truth, that trace of my consciousness should have dissipated long ago. My goal was the one thing that allowed me to hold on all this time. But now, the bedtime story is finished. And it's finally time to rest.
And then he vanished. Cutscene! Oh god, because Klee. Imagine. Well. How are you gonna vanish? Just gonna fade? Turn into sparkles? How are you gonna disappear? And he's already gone. He vanished off screen, turned into sparkles.
Looks like I was too late to see CodeErr one last time.
Well then, look who it is. What did you do to Dainsleif?
CodeErr's consciousness is gone.
Damn,
And
just
his
walk
face will
straight
soon
up through
disappear
me.
along with it.
Rude?
Neither of us belongs here. That's why we're not tangible. Were that not the case, I'd love to hug you too.
No hugs for us.
Well, how about a conversation?
Fuck the ghost. In this case, that would be incest. So please don't. Also, this is gonna be the most Aether and Lumine dialogue we've gotten in a long time, probably. The two main characters actually speaking to one another. Imagine that. I was not expecting this. I fully expected that Dainsleif just ruined our moment by sending us away seconds before we could reunite. Aether, say something, dude.
The chance to just stop and talk like this is certainly not easy to come by. Wouldn't you agree?
What? I want to know what I have to watch out for. Taylor's gonna 360 no scope Lumine. We're just gonna sit here and all of a sudden she gets just headshot, sniped from Dainsleif sitting on top of the tree. Just chilling, all of a sudden, bam, dead. Revenge. I almost still believe it's real. This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Ah, yes.
That battle earlier was tough. The one against Dane, I mean. I didn't expect that after everything, he would still hesitate to raise his sword against me. Were it not for that, perhaps I'd still be no match for the Twilight Sword. Even after 500 years.
So yeah, anyway, I've been romancing this dude called Child. Oh boy. Also, Lumine wouldn't have lost. No way. 500 years of practice and protagonist status. Come on. What exactly are you planning? What are you going to do with the Loom of Fate?
The Loom of Fate, huh? I still haven't found a way to utilize it to its full potential. But
she'd
there's
win,
still time
yeah.
Before
Nah,
the heavenly
she'd
principles
win.
awaken.
The heavenly principles are still asleep?
Yes, for 500 years now, ever since the cataclysm in Conria. There's been no sign of activity.
By the way, why can't we just give Aether the voice lines here as well? They have both voice actors around anyway to record these lines for the 2 different versions. They could have also just voiced the short little replies. Why don't they do that? Again, Heavenly Principles are dead. We killed them. That's what I heard. Yes. I did the romancing, I suppose. Actually, for me personally, it's more Zhongli.
Not long ago, you witnessed the Hydro Archon destroy her divine throne. Yes? Such a flagrant disregard for the rules, and still Celestia took no action. I suppose that's proof enough of the Heavenly Principles situation. However, the Heavenly Principles will awaken. We just don't know when that will be, or what might trigger it.
You really hate the Heavenly Principles, don't you?
You could say that. Just look at Kari Bear. He was so pure and single-minded. The space we now find ourselves is a perfect representation of who he was. Quiet and peaceful.
I think that is basically exactly what I said. Probably, yes. Yes.
Even as a hilly churl, seeing the terrible sight within the mirror wasn't enough to taint his spirit. He brought comfort to the people of this world, even though he was denied the very right to be a part of it. So ask yourself this. Who was it that deprived him of that right to exist? Of course, that's only one example. My feelings about the Heavenly Principles are too complicated to explain in just a few words.
So, about the Abyss Order and everything, they're still basically pretty evil. I mean, I get your hatred for the Heavenly Principles, but, the Abyss is doing some other shit too that isn't very nice. Like, from the very beginning we knew they were bad, like with the whole shit with Dvalin that happened. What's up with all of that, huh, Lumine? I mean, you are their princess after all.
Aether?
Oh shit! She didn't call us by our alias or traveler.
You're the only one in this world who calls me that.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! And the text box name changed too. It no longer says code. Here we go. It happened. We're no longer the traveler, addressed as code via the text box. No, no, no. We are now Aether. Beat your ass if you hurt my friends. Aether, definitely. Yup, yup.
There's so much I wanted to ask you, but for some reason, I'm not interested in asking those questions right now. There's just
and there's
one
the voice
thing
lines
I
I was
ask.
waiting for.
One thing I could never understand. Why? Why can't we continue our journey together?
At the end of my journey, I arrived at a place known as the Sea of Flowers at the end. Do you remember? A long time ago, when we traveled between worlds together, you told me you wanted to find a place in the universe where that one flower was in full bloom. To have a place like that suddenly appear before me. Well, would you think of that as a coincidence?
Very much a coincidence. Also, Rob is now
I
ruining the
miss
entire
you too,
moment.
Aether. But as this war continues to rage,
お前はもう死んでいる。
that final answer.
And as I said, ruining the entire moment. Also, I can't kill myself in a cutscene. I'll just have to kill myself after this is all over.
I don't even know how to face myself sometimes. let alone my own brother.
What's going on?
I guess we aren't
This
allowed to
space
stay here
has lost
anymore.
its tether. I doubt it'll be able to exist much longer. In fact, aside from our inability to physically interact with each other, there's something else you should know about this space. With Caribear gone, we won't be able to remember anything that happened.
Actually, we will, because I am the player.
Everything in the space will be wiped from existence, including all memory of our reunion.
You're only telling me this now?
No, we will remember because we're the main character. Especially because I'm the player, of course I remember.
Still so sleepy. Paimon's head feels
Where
all
did that
fuzzy.
first still come from?
Oh, Paimon woke up a little earlier than you, so Paimon will fill you in. The villagers said that they saw us sleeping near the village yesterday. They couldn't wake us up no matter how hard they tried, so they decided to just bring us back here. Oh, and Dane came by just now. It looked like he was injured.
But he's not dead.
He
Lumine
didn't
went
say
easy on
anything,
him.
though. Just made sure that you were all right and left. Kinda seemed like he had a lot on his mind, but that's Dane for ya.
Having trouble thinking straight right now.
Let's think for a second. We were in that memory, and we saw that guy you called Caribear. He was the missing villager that we've been trying to find, right? And after that, Paimon doesn't remember what happened.
Karba and I talked for a while. Told me about the Loom of Fate. Ha! Ha! Hang on! So we do remember. Lumine said we wouldn't remember anything that happened in that space. But this whole conversation about the Loom of Fate happened in that space that we apparently shouldn't remember.
Wait, really? What a score!
I guess our commission is complete then. The missing villager, the person who only exists in people's memories, was Caribear all along. But now that he's gone, I'm not sure how to explain things to the villagers.
Well, what happened after that?
After that? Huh, I can't seem to remember. So there it just cuts off, obviously, so it wasn't a full lie then. Maybe I'm just tired? I feel like something else happened, but why can't I remember? Not sure why, but it always feels like I lost something.
Ah, there you are. Sleep well?
Ah,
Hey,
yes.
Ron, you sure seem happy. Did something good happen?
Something good? Huh. Wasn't anything good or bad, I'd say. It's just that, well, the village organized another search party yesterday. It didn't feel right to leave all the searching to the adventurers.
No need for
So
that
there we
anymore.
were, searching away, when suddenly this one guy said it all came back to him. According to him, one day around dusk, he was passing by this one tree outside the village, and he saw our missing villager.
One final fake
There he
memory,
was,
huh?
sleeping under that tree all by himself. His parents came a little later to wake him up, and they all left together. They looked like quite a happy family, apparently.
Ah.
And after that, well, we all started to feel like that really is what happened. Kind of strange that we forgot all about it for so long.
So that's how Caribear said his goodbyes. That was the last memory he gave them.
Oh, and we also remembered his name, Caribear. Now, that's not a name you hear every day. Would have been helpful if we remembered it sooner.
That is a unique name. Make sure you remember it this time.
Well, I hope he's happy wherever he is. And we're all relieved now that we know what happened.
Yeah, that's totally what happened. Totally real.
Seems like everyone thinks Caribear left the village. That's probably for the best. At least they have some sort of explanation now.
Caribear is gone, the Loom of Fate is now complete, and no one else will try to change the villagers' memories.
Paimon wonders how Atos is doing. Maybe we should go check on her. If she hasn't remembered like everyone else, we can tell her what happened. Paimon didn't see her in the village just now, so she's probably at the tree. Come on, let's go talk to her.
To the tree we go, once again. But first... I'm sorry, Klee. I am so sorry. I need to find a higher spot. This one might work. How high up are we?
La la la.
I am so sorry, Klee.
Yay, I did it! Oh wait, no I didn't.
Alright, let's just get to our destination then. Fun how the wings for Fontaine are like two different halves. Much like how Farina's eyes are two different shades of blue. Nice how that works. Alright, I'm at the tree. Atosa, hello, it's me.
Atosa, how's it going?
Oh, it's you two. I was just about to go looking for you. I wanted to thank you. I was part of the search party, so I remembered what happened to Kari Bear now. Honestly, I just can't believe I forgot something so important.
I'm sure he wouldn't want you to forget him.
It's funny, but I have this feeling he told me the same thing. I just can't seem to remember when. I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. Life is made up of a series of memories.
Some are fake.
As long as I hold on to our time together, he'll always be a part of my life. I'm just happy I got to meet him.
Even if it was a fake part.
So, who cares what happens in the future, right?
She was mad crushing on him.
Okay, I'll admit. I'm just putting on a brave face. I was dumped, wasn't I?
Oh, come on.
Otherwise, why would he just leave like that without saying goodbye?
I'm sure he had his reasons.
You don't need to comfort me. I'll be okay. It's just like Kari Bear said. It's the things we overcome that make life more precious. And you know, if he has a heart, maybe he'll come back and see me one day.
He won't be able
anyway,
to, I'm sorry,
thanks
he gone.
for all your hard work, you two. I promised I'd help Granny Jahiet with something, so I should head back. Goodbye.
Well, that should be it, right? Everyone's lives can go back to normal now. Oh, right! Weren't you about to tell Paimon what happened after your conversation with Kari Bear?
Right, what was it that happened? I can't remember. Huh, it feels like there's something in my pocket.
A picture? Where'd that come from? Let Paimon see.
You must get along with each other, the two of you. Oh, there's more Sumeru script that I can't read. Kari Bear, you sneaky little... Wait, Gabe sent that? I hope it was marked as spoiler because I didn't see it. Marked with the spoiler tag thingy, okay. I did not see that. Huh, interesting that there's more script on that too. Bedtime story completed. Alright. That was probably the final Archon quest before Natlan. There's no way. Because that was the intermission quest. Might as well unlock this now. Alright, story quest. We still have plenty of time. We're not even 2 hours in. We might as well see how far we can get into the story quest. Shall we? Let's see what Clorinde is up to.
Huh? Do you also see Navia and Clorinde over there?
I do.
They look like they might have run into some kind of trouble. Let's go check out what's going on.
And then there was no more story quest.
Still no dice?
Alright, let's see how far we can get into this quest.
Not at all. And I've asked pretty much everyone in the court of Fontaine already. Lynette's ears drooped as soon as she heard that we'd have to be out and about for days on end. And Fremine, he hid himself under his helmet as soon as he realized there'd be people around that he didn't know.
What about Chiori and Charlotte? I feel like both of them would be more than up to it.
I've asked them already, but they're both pretty busy right now. I just gave the members of the Spina a few days off, too, so I don't want to bother them either.
This is getting pretty difficult.
They're pretty synced up. Alright.
Oh my. Well, if it isn't my dear partners. How are you all doing?
How can I help? You seem to have some trouble.
Huh? Oh, you mean...
Yep, this is our chance.
What are you going to do?
Do you need our help with something?
Oh, precisely. My dear partners, we've got a huge problem right now that only you can solve.
Whoa, for real?
Absolutely. We've already exhausted all our other options.
Alright, what kind of problem?
Traveler, Paimon, would you join us and play Marechaussee Hunter Judgment Day?
What now?
Marechaussee what now?
It's a new game script by the Tabletop Troupe, a local roleplay adventure club.
Oh boy,
Ever
tabletop
heard of the
roleplay
Tabletop
games!
They put out games that allow you to participate in a story and roleplay characters with your friends. Oh, I've loved their stuff ever since I was a kid.
That sounds super interesting.
Not what I expected
Clorinde
from
and
this
I are
story
both
quest,
veteran members
honestly.
of the club. Recently, someone came up with a new script and was looking for people to help playtest it for them. And when they asked, of course I couldn't refuse. I mean, come on, a brand new script? Nobody has ever played it before.
Generally speaking, scripts at that level of development have a lot of issues, but I think this one is pretty solid. The author obviously put a lot of work into the story, and the world building is also quite credible.
Huh,
Whoa,
who is the
whoa.
author?
I know I was the one that handed you the script, but some of us haven't read it yet. No spoilers, please.
That goes for chat too, no spoilers, please.
The script calls for a team of 4. Ah, yes. We're missing one final player right now.
What do you mean? We have Paimon. Paimon totally counts. You're right, that is a big problem.
So, you're saying you'll help us out? I knew I could count on you, partner.
Paimon and the Traveler are kind of a package deal. Is that okay?
That's not a problem. I'll adjust the pace based on the actual number of players, and ensure that everyone has a good time.
Well, Traveler, what do you think? Wanna play? Paimon will follow your lead.
Count me in for a great script.
Well, that solves our problem. You have our thanks.
Woohoo! I'll go grab the script manager from the club right away.
Here we go.
Script manager? Didn't you just say that you gave Clorinde the script?
The club introduced a completely new kind of gameplay for the script. In this iteration, the Game Master's version of the script is incomplete. The script manager provides the next part of the script only after players have completed the current list of objectives. On top of that, in order to increase player immersion, the club has created some of the story's sets and scenes in real life. We'll only know where we should go once the script manager reveals the starting location.
Wow, you're right. Whoever wrote this script really did put in a lot of work.
And it's got a real healthy amount of suspense, right? I mean, even the GM doesn't know how the story will end.
I look forward to experiencing it with you all.
Why don't you go meet up with the others first? They should all be waiting at Chioria Boutique. I'll come over with the script manager as soon as I
All right, let's get on with it.
Sounds good. Remember to always watch where you're going, and don't rush.
You say that like I'm 6 years old or something.
Aren't you, though?
Let me think. What kind of character should I play this time?
I just hope you'll pick up some useful skills this time. Oh, and stop trying
Are we gonna be a party of murder hobos? Murder hobos! Oh god, chat is reconnecting. I hope I didn't miss any messages. Chat is reconnected, okay. Did I miss any messages? I hope not. Doesn't look like it. I wonder why chat just disconnected for a second. Anyway, time to have a party of murder hobos. That's how it goes in D&D sessions and all that, right? Ah, Farina, of course.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
You're back! Huh? And you've got the Traveler and Paimon with you too!
Yes, not Aether anymore.
What a pleasant surprise. I assume you'll be joining us for the game then?
Linny, Farina! Paimon didn't know you were playing too. Are you also members of the tabletop troupe?
Hey, you two.
I'm more of a casual member if anything. I haven't taken part in many formal club activities. Lynette, Fremine, and I play something similar at the Hotel Bouffe Tété sometimes, but I'm usually the GM. Still, I'm sure it'll be fun being a player for the first time. I'm looking forward to it.
Alright then.
Well, I'm not a member of the club at all. Clorinde simply woke me up first thing this morning, said there was a good script worth experiencing, and asked if I wanted in.
If you're interested, I can give you a referral. That should give you a 40% discount on membership fees.
Ah yes, 40% discount for the former Archon.
Experience plays out first.
Thanks for the head pass.
Especially when it comes to the quality of the script. If it's sufficiently fun, then I'll join.
Yes, get Farina into tabletop role-playing games. Do it now.
You could say that. She's actually one of the few senior game masters of the troupe.
Right. I knew about that even when she was still my subordinate.
It's nothing. Really, just a small hobby of mine.
Wow. Paimon's so used to seeing you be all upstanding and intimidating as the champion duelist. It's kind of hard to imagine you role-playing with a bunch of friends.
Man, my PC's getting really hot again. I feel like it's about time I check out the filter again and see how much dust has gathered on that. It might have a hard time ventilating by now since it's I think it's been a few months again since I cleaned the dust off the filter. So I probably should take better care of this thing. I definitely have to do that tomorrow. You have a problem with any of the rules? Do we have to submit a duel request to you?
Surely you jest. I would never intentionally make things difficult for my players. I maintain a clear boundary between my professional and personal lives. The me you see at court represents the law and order of Fontaine. I put all personal feelings to the side and grant a fair duel to all who seek to defend their honor. But in my personal life, I'm just an ordinary person. Someone who feels anger and sadness, just like everyone else.
Well, you say that, but for all the time I've known you, I don't think I've ever seen you cry.
Maybe that'll change today with a good script.
Now I'm wondering whether you were actually mad or if it just looked that way from the outside.
I was probably in work mode during those times.
Is that so? Well, in any case, I just feel like even in your personal life, you don't get emotional very often.
So you want to see me cry? That might be a little difficult. A show of anger, though, that might be something I could accomplish.
Hopefully not directed at any of us.
No, that's not what I meant.
Alright, shall we get started then?
I'm back! Here, allow me to introduce you to the script manager, Mr. Florian.
Pleasure to meet you all.
Hello? Wait, are you a champion duelist too, Mr.
Look at that, someone with a fancy
Oh,
character
no.
design.
This is just the costume provided by the club. I occasionally play a few of the roles in my scripts.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's nothing. It's the least we can do to give the players a more immersive experience. Anyway, allow me to give you a brief introduction of the script.
Alright.
This script was adapted from the real history of the Marashose
No
hunters.
code? What do you mean, no?
You all will play the role of hunters from a
Just a
bygone
costume?
era and
Still,
resolve a series of
fancy
events
design
unfolding
must
in
be
the capital.
important.
Paimon's not super familiar with the history of the Marashose hunters. Is that a problem?
Oh, no problem at all. I can give you a brief rundown.
Alright.
So, basically, Marashose hunters were people who dedicated themselves to hunting monsters and protecting the city by using a special swordsmanship technique passed down over generations.
Alright, so basically
Their story can be
adventurers
traced
but
back to
with
the
a special
ancient
sword
Remurian
technique.
dynasty, as well as the first hunter, Cassiodor. But I'll leave the finer details for you to seek out and discover later.
Mm-hmm. And I'll provide additional commentary as the story progresses.
In that case, brave hunters, are you ready to set out on an unknown adventure?
I sure am. Let's get going.
Whoa, just one sentence and it's like we're in the story already!
Aha! I see many a determined gaze before me. Very well. Head over to this location and begin your heroic journey.
I am on it. Can I teleport
As we
there?
follow the story, it leads us to specific scenes. Ooh, sounds pretty innovative. What does the message in the envelope say?
It's the exact location of the scene, as well as the formal permission to use the venue. Seems like they have everything prepared. Please check all your belongings, everyone, and make sure you haven't forgotten anything. Once you're ready, please follow me to the designated location.
Sounds good.
Good luck on that game then, Spinner. I'm still hoping that my PC doesn't implode. Again, the temperature's really telling me, how come you haven't cleaned me in 2 months? Or more, actually. I don't know how long it's been. Probably 3, 4 months? I don't know when I last cleaned the stupid filter. It's gonna implode soon unless I do something. Before I stream next time, I have to clean that out. Alright, so this is our destination? No, our destination's over there. Whoa! That was a little bit of a loading issue you had there. All the water just
the sun's
disappearing.
out. This meteorological transformation is most splendid. Like a felicitous twist of fate in the face of certain doom.
Also, hello Kirill. How's it going? I completed the new Archon Quest and am now doing a little bit of a story quest. So this is the venue, huh?
Whoa, they really have thought of everything. Even the phaetometer is here and ready to go for us.
The what now?
The phaetometer. What's that?
It's a card that's used to determine action success or failure. We'll need to
Oh
use
god,
it
I
when
have
we
to
try
do that
use
again.
certain skills.
I have to draw cards again.
And what about all the dessert and tea? Is that for us as well?
That's what the message said.
Really? That's so nice. It feels just like a tea party with friends.
Those snacks have Paimon's name written all over them.
No, they're mine.
I think you might be more of a snack hunter than a Marashose hunter, Paimon.
Snack hunter Paimon reported for duty. If there are delicious snacks to be found, Paimon will track down every last one.
The desserts are great. But I'm still looking forward to the story more than
Yes,
anything.
can we get on with this story, please?
Very fair. Then, let us begin.
I hope I don't have to pass too many skill checks. Because if I do,
First,
I need to
please pick up the
rely on
blank
Spinner
character
again.
cards in front of you, and write down your name and profession. You can find an abbreviated version of the rules printed on the back of your character card. If you have any questions,
Character
feel free to
creation
ask me.
time. Woo, I
In
have
this
never
story,
played D&D.
Everyone is a Marashose hunter. To reflect this, the club has prepared a small badge for everyone.
But I know this is very important stuff now.
Nice.
As hunters, you have proficiency in swordsmanship and fighting by default, so there's no need to allocate any additional skill points to those areas.
Swordsmanship? So there's a fighting part to all of this? Paimon's not sure she can do all that on her own. Maybe Paimon can just stick with you?
Why don't you share a
I
character
really
card
made
then?
an RNG
The traveler
generator.
will be the
They
Marashose
did.
hunter, and you can be
There's
his little
RNG in
floating
this
assistant.
game, and we have Spinny here in chat to help me with the RNG.
Kinda like in real life.
So, for the name, do I fill it out with the name of my character?
Yep. It can be any name you like.
You can use your real name too if you want. I do that whenever I get too lazy to think of a new name.
Cast manual breathing.
Oh, so it would be like experiencing a different life, but still as yourself. That's not a bad idea.
In that case, I think I'll continue to use the name Linny then.
Next up is the skill sheet. You have a limited amount of skill points that you can use to learn a number of skills. The more points you invest in a particular skill, the easier it will be to
Alright.
pass
How
associated
does it feel
checks.
to breathe manually? I'm always breathing manually.
I'll take persuasion.
By the way, did
and
you know there's no
investigation.
place for your tongue to
Those
rest
are
comfortably
must-haves
in
when
your
it comes
mouth?
to missions like these.
Oh, those skills sound like they'd be
You're now
useful for
perfectly aware
gathering
of your tongue's position.
intelligence. Good idea, Navia. Just as expected of a veteran player.
So, should we also take those skills then?
Not necessarily. Since we're working together as a team, we could leave the negotiations to Navia
So yeah, I can
and use
fire
our
back
skill
spin.
points to pick up other useful skills. For example, I think I'll take stealth and sleight of hand. That will give us
Alright.
more options if we run into any situations
Stealth
we
skills
can't
are
negotiate
good.
our way out
Doing
of.
the Kazuma build. Can I learn steal?
Interesting. I wasn't thinking about it like that. I suppose it's not so different from an acting troupe. Everyone has their own role to play. Let me see. I'll take arts and performance. I'm not quite sure what use they'll be, but I'm not as knowledgeable about the other skills, and I am not too confident I'd be able to roleplay them well.
I mean,
Well,
fair
that leaves
points.
us. What do you want to learn, Traveler?
Cooking, medicine, insight. I feel like a healer would be nice. Insight, however. I mean, Master Detective Code has to pick insight, right? Still tell your cipher in Discord? It's tough. Sometimes it's near impossible. Because, again, Discord does fuck it up a lot. Again, do I learn insight to live up to my status as Master Detective Code? Or learn medicine, because I feel like I'm usually more the healer type. I'll pick insight.
Oh, something that'll help you get a read on other people's thoughts. Sounds useful.
And I guess I'll learn medicine too.
Ooh, so you want to help people when they're injured. That's nice of you.
So I can pick both, or do I get all three?
So what do you think? Are you sure you want to learn these two skills?
Alright, so I just don't know how to cook. Those were actually the two that I want. Healing and using my detective skills. Who cares about how to cook? I'm not in Dungeon Meshi after all. Yep, I'm sure.
Let's see. Oh, looks like you each have enough points to choose one final skill.
I guess I can cook
You
after
all
all,
pick
then.
such classic skills. It's fine to go a little bit out of the box, you know.
Why do I get the feeling she's getting ready to cause trouble?
For example, this one here. Summon. Doesn't it sound super
Oh, I want a
mysterious and
summoning
cool?
skill!
Oh,
Summoning and healing.
Well. The
I can just summon minions, make them fight, and heal them whenever they're in a pinch.
Certain circumstances to summon characters or creatures that fit the script's world-building rules.
The script's world-building rules, huh? But how are we supposed to know what a Marashose hunter can summon?
Oh,
Summoner and
that's not for us
support
to
is
worry
such a
about,
good
my
combo.
friend. Just learn the
Summoner
skills
and
that
support is what I
interest
would
you,
always
and
go
the
for if
GM
given
will
the
take care of
choice.
the rest.
I'm forced to play Summoner.
Alright,
I
you've
would
convinced
gladly
my
play
mind.
Summoner.
Let's learn summon then. Paimon can't wait
I
to
don't
see
need
what
to
kind of
fight
things
myself.
she'll
I want to be a support character who can
Well,
summon
now
minions
that
to do this
everyone's
shit.
more or less finished creating their characters, we can begin. Since 2 of our players are doing this for the first time, though, let me ask.
That would
Would you
always
like
be
to
my
play
goal
on
in
easy
anything.
mode or authentic mode?
What's the difference between the two?
Summon a character,
Well,
interesting.
in role-playing games, the story sometimes changes based on the decisions of the players and the results of the Fatometer. For example, if you fail a check, that means you cannot use the target skill in that scenario. A critical failure may even result in further negative consequences. If you choose to play in authentic mode, every time you elect to use a skill, you'll need to use the Fatometer to see whether you succeed or fail, and face any consequences that may follow.
I mean, that's the only
If you choose
way
easy
to
mode
play
instead,
that makes sense.
every check will be successful by default, and you won't have to worry about luck playing a factor.
Nah, we'll go with the RNG. The random checks triggered by the Fatometer often serve as indicators for Destiny's course or the success or failure of an action. Press to draw a card and get a random number between 1 and 20. Again, it's drawing cards. We don't have a d20. No d20 here, it's just cards. If the number displayed greater or equal, check the check difficulty, you will pass the check, otherwise you will fail. Players' role-playing and the scene in the story can sometimes affect the results of checks. Your current check bonuses will be added to your randomly drawn number, making it easier to pass checks in easy mode. All checks will be considered successful by default.
Given that I'd like to focus on the story, I suppose I should pick easy mode. I'd feel bad if I brought the team down by failing my checks.
Huh? Oh, come on. Don't worry about that. RNG is the lifeblood
Exactly.
of role-playing games. I'm going with authentic mode
We
for
need to
sure.
go authentic mode.
Never knowing what you might have to overcome.
Plus I have Spinner to bring me luck.
Doesn't that sound exciting?
I'd rather be mentally prepared for what might happen.
All right, then
Most
I'll
of
mark
them
down
did
Farina
you.
for easy mode. All her checks will be
All right.
successful by default. As usual, Navia and Linny will play on authentic mode.
I'll go authentic
What
too.
about you, dear partner? How would you like to play?
I'd like to pick authentic mode.
Are you sure?
But lucky myself. It whatever works. I mean, come on. You can be a bringer of luck. You guide others to a treasure you cannot possess. I'm sure.
Trust me, you'll see the beauty of RNG.
RNGs will snap my fucking neck, but I'm ready for it.
It's too difficult for us, no matter what the Fatometer says. Isn't that right, Clorinde?
No promises.
That wasn't super reassuring.
Well, anyway, enough talk. Let's get started. I want to experience at least a good chunk of the story today.
Yeah, let's go. We have
Speaking
40
of the
minutes.
story,
Let's see how much we can get.
Why is the beginning scene on a beach?
Well, that's because
Here we
a
go.
long time ago.
Oh shit!
Back when human civilization was
The
still
hut
in its
too.
infancy, powerful demons and evil sorcerers ruled over the land. They created a host of monsters and sent them to slaughter all humans in existence. Soon, a group of human rebels banded together. With their swords raised, they swore
I
to
wonder what the
brave
art is gonna look
darkness,
like for the other
and in doing
characters.
so, subdue each and every monster that sought their destruction. They became known as the Marachose Hunters.
It's time. Oh.
Sometime later, as a member of the Marachose Hunters, you receive a commission.
In
Following
Mondstadt.
the address provided on the message, you take a boat and arrive at this strange city.
You always get good
As
rolls,
you inhale,
imagine.
you can taste the slightly salty air of the docks as you begin to survey your surroundings. There aren't many people in the vicinity, but you do take note of a few others who, like you, seem to be sizing up this place. Your eyes meet, and you realize these people are fellow Marachose hunters, likely led to this location after
So that's how
receiving
our
the
party
same
meets.
commission as you.
No
You're
meeting
all
in a bar?
Marachose hunters too, right? Allow me to introduce myself. The name's
Alright.
Navia, monster hunter by trade and helpful neighborhood businesswoman on the side. What say you to traveling together? We can help each other out on the road.
Alright. Again, I like the little art and everything. Prototypes. I hate you. Alright, so a lot of stuff. Damn, okay. Working on a lot of stuff.
Okay, count me in.
Lady
My
the Thief.
name is Linny. I've been wandering since I was little and picked up a few less than legal tricks along the way. I was adopted by a Marachose hunter.
At least we have to have a
later
Kazuma
chose
build in
to
the group
follow in
after
his
all.
footsteps.
Please tell me Liddy no steal.
Is this where you introduce your character to everyone? It sounds like they've done this dozens of times. My name is Farina, and, I grew up in a noble family. I always had a interest interest in performance and the arts. Even though
Of course,
I'm
she's
a
the
Marchese
bard.
hunter, what I really want is to be a
Farina, please tell me you're not gonna fuck the dragons and anything else we come
Hey,
across.
that's really
You are
cool.
the bard. I know this could go horribly
That's
wrong.
exactly how it's done.
Paimon is Paimon, a good friend and companion to this Marachose hunter right here.
I've been studying medicine ever since I was a child. I want to do my part to eradicate these monsters and use
Damn.
what I've learned to heal others.
Alright. I like that. We're getting fancy with it. Ventus the one finds it right away. Wait. Medicine? Yes. What do you mean, hold up? You're not sleeping. You went into my room, asked me something because they were confident I would be awake. Of course they are correct. What? Why are you saying hold up? I learned medicine and insight as my skills. I'm a doctor / scientist / researcher. I picked up different skills than Gabe. I wrote myself a different character. This is more in line with what I want. Again, this isn't dungeon meshy. I don't need to cook monsters to stay alive. I hope. So yeah, when it came to picking up skills, I specifically chose insight and medicine. I want to be smart and be able to heal people. Those are my two objectives in this. From Tord, I don't think I can rank it. I don't know, it was all over the place. Do I?
Oh, welcome. When
Also
we face
voice
the
line for main
monsters,
character.
I'll make sure to charge in front to give everyone some cover. You can take care of the healing at the back.
Ah, so
You
you're the
open your
tank.
envelopes at the same time. The message reads, "To the honorable and trustworthy Marachose hunters, our kingdom is currently facing a grave crisis. The lands outside the capital have been overtaken by monsters, and our people are being led astray by forces of wickedness. We beseech you, Please help us resolve this crisis and return peace and stability to our home.
Huh. The layout of this city looks super familiar. It kind of reminds me
Because it is.
that.
The scriptwriter must have used a real-world city as a
D&D
reference
goes
when
hard.
coming
I
up with the
haven't
map.
played any D&D yet, but I want to at some point.
As experienced hunters, the layout of the city reminds you of places once traveled. You recall the sight of tree-lined streets and the gentle tranquility of days gone by. Yet, as you regard the city in front
We
of
need
you,
D&D
it
someday.
appears to be little more than an empty
Agreed.
shell. Its hollow gates are open to you,
But I'd want
beckoning you
people to
to
go
come
easy on
forth
me since it
and
would be my
bring
first
salvation
time.
back to the town.
I carefully read every line of the letter and turn my attention to the signatures at the bottom. Who issued this commission to us?
You see a long string of unfamiliar names. It would seem that many of the residents of the city issued this commission together. They sensed that things were not right within the kingdom and sent a distress signal to the outside world.
Alright.
In that case, why don't we take
Of
a walk
course
around
that
the
gets
city
quoted out of
and see if we can
context.
learn anything from the local residents?
Oh, good idea. We might be able to get
And
some
then
leads
comes
on the
in
monsters
Archon
and bad
Quest.
guys we're after.
Tragic, but we got like overarching story stuff.
You look up and see a tavern nearby. It appears to be open for the day.
Why don't we go check out that tavern? If the novels I've read are anything to go by, taverns are usually full of information.
Alright then, let's go. And since we have a bard, it should hopefully be easy to get information. Farina, you distract them, try to get info out of them. And if they don't give us anything, Liddy, you can, like, steal.
As you approach the tavern, you find a plainly dressed woman standing nearby. She appears to be rather troubled about something.
I see one sitting, not standing. Like bread and butter. I mean, yeah.
Greetings,
I know that that's
friend.
usually where the party
Lovely
meets for
weather
the
we're
first
having
time.
today, don't you think?
I flirted with the table. I seduced the door.
Hello. I suppose you're right. The weather today is quite lovely. If only those monsters out there would stop causing
The
trouble.
door is closed. How can we get the door to open up? I seduce it. I will get the door to open up to me. Truly, that is the most genius move one can make, right?
It seems like every character included in the script has a certain amount of useful information to offer. If we keep asking questions, we might be able to get some good leads.
Oh, come now, don't be sad. Life is all about optimism. Oh, that reminds me. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
Huh?
I don't think that's
You
the
beetle
kind of
variant,
question we're
yes.
supposed to ask.
Nothing turns a frown upside down like good food. How about some macarons? I could make you some.
Make Ito's
You didn't even
beetle
take
fighting
cooking as
quest
one of your
return
skill
too.
proficiencies.
That's not necessary, miss. Excuse me for saying this, but you don't really look like a chef. Besides, I'm not really a fan of sweets.
So you're someone who barely smiles and doesn't like sweets. You're really starting to remind me of this one friend of mine.
Damn.
Hey, did she just... me?
Clorinde must have broke character for a second.
Sneak rolls intimidation.
This isn't getting us anywhere. Traveler, maybe you can think of something.
Using insight. I'd like to do an insight check to see what's troubling her. Let's try an insight check. We can still let Linny help if my insight fails.
The results of insight checks aren't disclosed to the players, so I'll be the one consulting the fatometer.
Oh no, this is even worse. I don't even know if my check succeeded or failed. I could just be picking up bullshit, but my insight skill is, like, I picked up insight as my main skill. So I should have plenty of bonuses to this skill check.
You recall all the lessons you've learned in your time and begin to
That
carefully
one.
observe the woman's mannerisms. You notice that when she's quiet, she has an empty look in her eyes, as if her thoughts have drifted to a place far, far away. And when she speaks, she often subconsciously reaches out to touch the ring on her left hand.
Alright, so... Yeah, something happened to your husband, didn't you say to tell me? I literally couldn't. I couldn't pick. Clorinde picked the card for me. I couldn't do anything. I didn't get to choose. What are the D&D elements in this quest? It seems pretty fun. Isn't bad enough to roll one twice, right? Well, one would hope.
So you noticed. That's a little embarrassing.
Cast good rolls.
Suddenly appeared near the capital recently, so all the guards were dispatched to fight them.
And your husband was one of them and died, right? Is that where this goes?
Do you remember when those monsters appeared?
I'm not completely sure. All I know is that my husband was dispatched to fight them 3 days ago.
Do you know where he was sent?
It all happened so fast. When we said our goodbyes, he couldn't even tell me where they were sending him.
You have our thanks, friend. We'll find and defeat those monsters as soon as possible.
We're on our way.
We sincerely hope your husband will be able to return to your side soon.
Things I don't see it. Things that I'm too scared to admit they do.
Don't worry.
You know, Secret.
Just try to remain optimistic and wait for good news. We don't always get to choose what happens to us.
Intimidation stealth,
but we do get to choose the little things, like what we eat and how we respond to the things life throws our way.
You saw that show? I
You
did.
too will recognize the power of something as small and inconsequential
I sure
as a delicious
did.
dessert.
As someone who never played
I'll do
D&D,
my
all
best.
I can do is
You
absorb
bid
the knowledge
farewell
through
to the
shorts.
woman and continue your journey further into
And
the
they
city.
fun. Rob, I'm sure you can find the link for Spinne to appreciate. I've gotta try telling you the mall RP. Not sure if you got anything from the images. I mean, maybe at some point you have to enlighten me. I mean, fair. It's a fun
As you
one.
venture further into the city, the streets appear largely empty. An elderly woman walks past. You see her shake her head as she puts away her wrinkled wallet. A nearby merchant folds his arms and gives you a disdainful look. You get the impression that he's someone who has long gotten used to the sight before him.
Hello there.
Although he doesn't seem very friendly, merchants are usually a good source of information, right?
Pardon me, sir. I'd like to ask a question if I may.
Let the bard handle
That
the talking.
depends. How much are you willing to pay?
How about this much?
Gah, what do you take me for? Some lowly beggar? Pah, you can't even buy half an onion with that amount.
Surely an onion can't be that expensive, right?
What do you know? War is nearly upon us. Everything costs several times what it did before. If you're not gonna buy anything, then scram.
Whoa, what a nasty guy. Maybe we shouldn't even bother talking to him.
But he still might have information we need. Traveler, can you think of something?
Alright, let's see. I think... I mean, Farina might be able to help. Again, when trying to convince someone, leave it to the bard, usually. Plus, not only are we leaving it to the bard, but Farina passes all her checks, too. So Farina seems like a very good solution to this problem. Farina, you do this.
A performance? I've never played a role-playing game like this before, but even I can tell that suggestion is pretty far-fetched. Is a performance check really going to help here?
I mean, why not?
Alright. Ahem.
Come on, Bard.
By the harbor's grace, a lone boat lies in rest. Let the moon give chase, for here begins our
Intimidate would, so it no better than not being
in
a
the dark of
best.
shadow, our heroes seek to find where creatures born of evil weave their grand design. Blocked the road does stand, such is our hunter's plight. Yet with sword and courage in hand, they march forth to pierce the night.
Check success. Oh, you did? Nice. Alright, we're gonna learn what it said. What did it say, Gabe? What did it say?
I don't recall asking for a bardic song. Don't expect me to give you any coin. But if you meant what you sang, and you are indeed some kind of hunter, then by all means, please, go out and kill those monsters for us.
The key to Sakis.
Those monsters are camped outside the city, and they've been destroying all our trade routes. We have limited reserves within the city, so if this continues, we're all gonna be in big trouble.
Wait, you're saying no one has put a plan in place to distribute
Some
supplies
nice
or
aged
maintain
weenie.
order?
We could all starve, and those nobles in the palace wouldn't even break a sweat. Who knows? Maybe they've been in cahoots with the monsters all along.
That is concerning.
Yeah, all right. I think I've said more than enough. Be on your way now.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
He just doesn't have enough taste to appreciate your art.
So that's where he said the thingy. Because she does mention, I feel like he said something similar to me, but I can't recall when. So it said it in the script. Okay. Interesting.
No. I was just thinking about how those nobles must be so cold-hearted. It's like they don't care about their people at all.
Alright. Where to next?
Should we try to go somewhere with more people?
Oh, how about the city square? Follow me.
You're not Catherine! Who is you? I'll play D&D, we're gonna need a GM. I mean, yeah. I'm gonna be a mage. I mean, fair. DM seems like a lot of work, especially because I don't know what the fuck to do.
You see a man with a slightly anxious look on his face, pacing back and forth, his head hanging low. He doesn't seem to notice your approach. Still immersed in his own thoughts, he shakes his head and lets out a long sigh.
I feel like if we ever were to do like D&D and get a proper GM and everything, I feel like for character creation we'd all have to sit together and figure out what the fuck we even want to do. I know I'd feel more comfortable in character creation if I knew there were other people who were also currently creating their character and we could talk with each other about stuff. Cast Fireball, roll net 20 and insta-kill. Yes. That's a few things I also know about D&D. I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast Fireball. Ow. Hi, Dev. How's it going? Welcome to D&D and Genshin.
This guy seems promising enough. Maybe I can get some information out of him. Hello, sir. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Wait, you're...
I'm...
Look, I was supposed to... Did
dear
I
goodness,
stutter?
You're a Marashose hunter.
You recognize us? Ah, are you one of the people who wrote the commission letter?
Yes, yes. Oh, I didn't expect you to actually come. Oh, what great news. The city is saved.
What happened here?
Alas, we once lived comfortable, carefree lives. This city used to be free of monsters. The first Marashose hunter, Casiodor, the Golden Hunter, he was the one who drove them back. However, monsters have once again surrounded the city. Perhaps the seal that kept them at bay has lost its power. Or perhaps an evil sorcerer has been meddling in our affairs. All I know for sure is that their return has stripped the city of any chance at peace.
Are there not enough soldiers to drive them out?
That's what we're here for.
It's not a question of numbers. The guards simply have no idea how to deal with them. Most people my age have never even seen one of the monsters, much less been trained to fight against them. What's worse, many of us don't even know the history of the Marashose hunters anymore.
Explosion jokes.
When I was a child, though,
I mean, I
my
could.
grandfather would tell me stories
But if
about
Finn
how
would
the
be a mage,
Marashose
then I feel like we
hunters
shouldn't just
drove
have a
back the
party of
monsters.
just mages. That would
So,
backfire
on
horribly.
the off chance that something might come of it, I decided to reach out to you.
I would be perfectly content taking a back seat and being support. I like supporting a team. So I would absolutely do that. In some way. I don't know what kind of class you would be best. Maybe something like, I don't know, like a druid or something along those lines. Just a bunch of support and healing stuff. And hey, maybe if there are summoning spells, I would totally be interested in learning some of those. As you know. I didn't grass before. Now you might as well be on the moon. Damn.
To be perfectly honest, I was starting to think all those stories were just tall tales. But now that I've seen you in person, I finally know that it was true.
Well, you can rest easy, friend. The righteous and formidable Marashose hunters are on the case.
The man is touched by your determination and resolve. His eyes begin to well with tears of relief.
I think once we're done in
Still,
this setting,
if we are
I'll
going to
probably
hunt the
cut things for the
monsters,
day.
we need to know where to
I'll
find
do the
them.
rest whenever the next
Can you give
Genshin
us any
stream rolls
leads?
around.
All I know is that the area outside the city is dangerous. I'm afraid I can't point you toward a specific location. Oh, although, if you leave the capital through the main gate and follow the road, you should run into a group of guards. They might know more about where to find the monsters.
I see. We'll go look for them then.
All right, be careful. Oh, and one last thing. The monsters outside the city are just part of the problem. There are evil sorcerers inside the city as well, so be on your guard. They're
Just
actively
kill everyone
working
in the
with
city. That should
monsters,
take care of the
and
evil
have corrupted
sorcerers.
the court ministers with malicious magic.
Again, party of murder
They're the reason
hobos.
why, even inside the city, everything has been a giant mess. Even one of our kindest ministers has turned into a boorish and unreasonable figure, interested in nothing but enacting laws that exploit the people.
I send you
who
to
knows
him.
how much longer we'll
Damn.
be able to go on like this.
Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I feel bad for him. Maybe we should try to cheer him up?
I could cook. I absolutely will not cook something. I cannot cook for shit as this character. Furina, this is all you.
Like, now? Is this really the right
Better
time?
option than me cooking.
I appreciate your kindness, but for now, it's more important to focus
Cooked
on
as
the
a cook
crisis
and
at hand.
failed. I would
Brave
fail
hunters,
3
I
times
leave
as
the
much.
future of this kingdom to you.
I would probably poison this person if I tried to cook, and then I'd have to bring out my medicine skill.
If I understood correctly, there are currently 2 problems in the kingdom that need solving, right?
Exactly. We need to defeat the monsters outside the city and take down the evil sorcerer stirring up trouble from within.
But which problem should we tackle first?
Well, This seems like a good moment for a break. Take some time and discuss what you want to do.
Bar powers.
Let me know when you've made your decision.
I really didn't expect the people in the city to keep us at arm's length like that. I totally thought the hunters would be treated like heroes.
Well, Clorinde said the script took cues from the real history of Fontaine, right? Maybe the real-life Marashose hunters were also treated like that.
I wouldn't say it's a perfect representation of history, but there are definitely some similarities. Would you like to hear more about it?
Sure. As long as it doesn't spoil anything in the script. You brought up bits and pieces of the hunter's history before, but it was all in passing.
Alright, backstory time.
Too. The hunters were super powerful, right? Were they all from a special line of supernatural beings or something? Kind of like the yokai in Inazuma?
No. All Marashose hunters were ordinary mortal fighters. The only thing that set them apart were the special sword techniques passed down over the centuries.
Huh? So you mean anyone could become a Marashose hunter?
Even Paimon?
In theory, yes. All you would need to do is survive the rigorous training and master the swordsmanship techniques required to fight the monsters. Still, most people dropped out at the early stages, and others called it quits the minute they saw a monster in person. To become a hunter, you must be strong in both body and mind.
What kind of monsters did the hunters fight exactly? Oh, and the evil sorcerer the script mentions. Did they exist in real life too?
Totally,
The land
right?
of Fontaine once played host to an ancient dynasty known as Remuria. After that dynasty fell, monsters began to appear, intent on obstructing humans from establishing a new social order. One of the ancient sorcerers
Bard,
Remuria used his power to assemble a formidable army of golems. He sought to use that force to establish himself as king.
Now wait a second. Don't tell me that guy was the inspiration for the evil sorcerer in the script. We still haven't found any in-game information on him yet. So, why don't you talk about someone else for now?
Well, I wasn't planning on going into anything you might be able to find out in the game. But if you want me to talk about something else, then... How about Casiodor, the Golden Hunter? Or Egeria, the ex-Hydro Archon?
Wait, but those people are all from a super long time ago. Where did you learn all this, Clorinde?
She's been around. Oh.
My master? You mean Miss Petronia?
Someone you know?
Absolutely. Miss Petronia and my father were good friends. Back in the day, she would often bring Clorinde over to play.
Old.
Then...
Let's not get off topic. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Responding to Egeria's call, a number of warriors followed Casiodor into battle against the monsters. This group of warriors, under Casiodor's leadership, became known as the Marashose Hunters. Yet, as Fontaine entered an era of peace, their work gradually became obsolete. The Marashose Phantom, originally an association made up of hunters, eventually came to be predominantly comprised of Melusines.
Ah, I see. That explains why most of the
not too
people in the
shabby. At
script
least
have
you are
forgotten the
above the
hunters
middle.
or think of them as nothing more than a legend.
Is that really a bad thing, though? It can get tough always being the one shouldering everyone's expectations.
Depends on who you ask, I suppose. If the name of the organization no longer commands respect, investigative work is bound to suffer.
Speaking of investigations, which problem should we tackle first? Monsters or evil sorcerer?
I vote monsters.
Makes
That's
sense.
the main duty of the hunters, right? We can come back to the sorcerer later.
That would also mean
Well
we leave
said,
the
Miss
city for now.
Farina. Plus, if the sorcerers really are the masterminds behind this whole thing, defeating the monsters could give us some clues on their intentions as well.
And if we defeat the
What about you,
monsters, that might
partner?
make them a
What
little
do you
bit
think?
more, might make them a little bit more prone to slipping up if they realize their plans are in danger. So I also vote monsters.
It's decided then.
All right. After some discussion, you decide to turn around and head out of the city.
We're still not done with this set piece, huh? Alright.
Outsiders, halt!
Who's there?
An armored man approaches you. He has a tall, muscular build and a determined expression in his eyes. Just one look, and you can tell he's fought in his fair share of battles. Although he's trying his best to conceal his current state, his uneven gait and the sweat dripping down his forehead make it obvious that he's been wounded and is in serious pain.
Haha! Medical
I'm the captain
skill.
of the guard. I saw you sneaking around the city earlier, so I'll only ask this once. State your purpose, or it's off to the dungeons for the lot of you.
Wow, it's been a while since someone's been this suspicious of us.
I said talk, not whisper between yourselves.
Have you ever heard of the Marchese Hunters?
Marchese Hunters? Ha! That fairy tale, you mean?
Yes, we are
What, do you
fairy
expect
tale
me to believe you're one of
characters.
them?
I'd like to do a medicine check to see if I can help him. We're counting on you, Navi. I'd like to do an insight check. Medicine check, absolutely. But we have to earn his trust first if he wants me to treat him. So I think I'll do an insight check first.
While everyone is talking, you begin to carefully observe the captain's mannerisms. Every so often, you see him glance toward a particular direction, with a pained expression on his face, as if an invisible thread is tying him to an unknown place. As you follow his gaze, you vaguely recall that the location he seems fixated on is known for its difficult terrain. Any battle that breaks out in a place like that is likely to be prolonged and devastating.
Is that where the monsters are? Outside the forest in the area with the difficult terrain?
The captain is taken aback by your sudden question. Still, his shock only
I
lends
got his
credence to your
ass!
theory.
Master Detective
You're
Code.
looking
On
to
the
fight the
case, as
monsters?
always.
Well, we're Marchese Hunters after all.
Rather
You could say that's
flabbergasted.
basically our job.
Yes, by my superior
He shakes his
observation
head
skills.
and continues to regard you with skepticism. In the end, he decides to inform you of the locations where the monsters have appeared. Those monsters aren't easy to deal with, but if you insist on going, I won't stop you either.
Can I still heal him now? Or am I saving my
I just
medical
hope all the
supplies
guards
for my
will be able to
party?
come back to their families alive. I wish you the best of luck.
Guess we're leaving then. Sorry, buddy. The game didn't allow me to do both insight and heal you.
Based on what the captain said, the monster should be right up ahead. Let's go. Hopefully we're not too late.
Henry lived and will live. I know everything.
As you approach the battlefield, you see numerous people lying by the side of the road. They appear to be dressed like guards. Their faces are filled with desperation and terror. Some are screaming and cursing in vain, as if still trying to banish the monstrosities they saw from their minds.
Huh! I can't heal you, sorry. You're probably not injured anyway, just scared.
A few of the wounded look up at you in shock and disbelief. Quick, leave this place. Turn around and don't look back, they yell.
Okay, I turn around and yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright.
This is the place he mentioned, right?
You see broken iron swords scattered all around you, and downed trees riddled with terrifying claw marks. All the signs point to one thing. A truly devastating battle just took place here.
Be on your guard, everyone. The monsters might still be around.
Before you can finish your sentence, You hear rustling
Oh
sounds
god,
from the
no,
surrounding
I
bushes.
hate these things.
The monsters have emerged. They close in on you without fear. You get the impression that, in their bloodthirsty eyes, you're just another meal for them to devour.
Thankfully, we all have the sword fighting skills.
This thing wants to eat Paimon!
Your battle round begins now.
Oh, I actually get to pick a card this time. Imagine that. Spinne, which card should I pick? You haven't really let me down so far, so I trust you. If you're already back. If you're not back, because you said BRB earlier, then I'll just rely on Rob instead. After all, Rob is the god of luck, so I'll take that. Roll 30,000 gold. 42? That's a lot. $24, 36, 40, 42. 8! Perfect! How did you know? That is a perfect check. I cleared that.
And voila!
Watch out! Spring force! Here!
The next battle round begins now.
Show on the road!
Watch out!
Alright.
That's the way.
Did you lose any rolls? I just needed Rob's help for one roll, and that was a perfect success. God
The
of luck.
monsters let out a terrifying roar of anger and resentment before dissipating into thin air.
Oh, thank goodness it's over.
We're
Rob
lucky the
just
Mara
succeeds
Shosei
in
Hunter
rolls,
class
that's how it
came with all those
works.
preset skill points. Otherwise, we would have been in some real trouble.
I never knew the phytometer even determines the amount of damage you inflict. If you get unlucky, isn't it just game over right then and there?
Yes, that's the point.
That's part of the fun. The uncertainty of fate is what gives these games their appeal.
Just as you begin to celebrate your victory, a suspicious lump on the ground catches your attention.
A suspicious lump. Wait, could it be the thing that appears after every battle?
I walk up to it, crouch down, and begin to carefully examine it. I've still got my right glove on, so it should be fine for me to touch it, right?
As you
Found
investigate
the
the
Earth
mound,
Booba,
you
yes.
discover that the exposed portion appears to be made of wood. It was previously obscured by the large form of the monsters. With the monsters gone, the small protrusion now awaits your discovery, poking out of the ground like a shy flower bud.
I seduce the soil. Let's dig it up.
With everyone's help, you successfully excavate the wooden chest from the ground. Even without opening it, you can tell from the mora and jewels scattered around the chest that it must contain quite the fortune.
Makes sense. We worked hard for this. Let's open it and we can share what's inside.
I can understand your excitement, Paimon, but think
Mother
about it.
Nature literally.
Doesn't
Yup,
it seem
sure
like
did.
there are people out there who need this treasure more than us?
Yeah. Think about all the people
Corpse
suffering
Bride,
in the
that-
capital. Or all those guards who got hurt fighting the monsters. Wouldn't it be
Good
better
question,
if we gave
Rob.
the treasure
Good
to them?
question.
Wait, is that how it works?
Probably not really alternate
thought
endings,
since
more
we were
like
the ones to
slightly
dig it
different
up,
paths
we could
within
just
the
take
story.
it for ourselves.
Well, let's put it this way. Any decision you make during a role-playing game can impact the future course of the story.
But would the people really believe us? It's hard enough for us to prove we're Marchese hunters. What if they think we procured the treasure illegally? They might get even more suspicious of us.
True.
That's definitely something we should consider. Maybe we can come up with an explanation in advance.
Well, if donating it could cause that much trouble, why don't we use it to buy some gear and fill up on good food? Then we'll be ready to fight even more bad guys.
True, get the economy going.
Looks like you're facing a difficult choice once again. Well, it's getting late. Why don't we call it a day for now?
I agree. Let's call it a day. We're 3 hours in.
Wow, where did the time go?
I'm not sure if it's because I'm having so much fun with you all or because the story is particularly enticing, but I feel like I could almost keep going.
Is this what it feels like to play D&D?
How about we play through the night?
I'm not sure I'll have enough energy for that.
Yeah, that won't work for me either. Lynette will give me an earful if I get home too late.
I understand how you feel, Navia, but we have to change venues for the next part of the story anyway.
Huh? Another location?
Mm-hmm. There's a special note for the GM at the end of this section that says to proceed to an indoor set for the next part of the script.
Alright.
Whoa, they really pulled out all the stops for this new script.
Well, even if we end the game for the day, we can still stay a little longer and hear Clorinde finish her story, right?
I guess we'll listen to that before I end things.
Something tells me you just want to finish the free desserts before we break for the day.
That's just a coincidence, okay? Besides, to Paimon not finishing free food feels even worse than having to buy her own. And anyway, Paimon really does want to hear more about Clorinde's master.
Well...
If the story doesn't have a happy ending, it's okay not to finish.
It's nothing. I appreciate the concern, but it's all in the past. It won't do any harm to share these things now.
Alright, some backstory, I guess. And, no, we're leaving?
My earliest memories
No,
are
we're
of
just
living
standing
with
up
Master.
for this.
According to her, she saved me from certain people of ill repute. My birth parents had left me behind some time before that.
What a heavy beginning for a life story.
Master was a fascinating individual, if inexperienced in the ways of raising children. My first ever toy was a short sword. Although I suppose it wasn't so much a toy as something Master removed from her waist and handed to a noisy child in need of distraction.
And then you killed yourself with that sword.
Handed an actual sword to a child?
Yeah, that feels safe.
Isn't that dangerous? Did you hurt yourself?
Of course I did. I cut my palm and
Dear
bled quite a
Monica.
lot.
Of course.
But Master was not concerned. She just stood there and casually lectured me about it. See? That's what you get for not holding the sword properly, she told me. She then crouched down next to me and said, "Give me your hand. I'll teach you to bandage this wound. After that, it's time to learn how to truly hold a blade."
Excuse me for asking this, Clorinde, but how old were you exactly when all this happened?
Probably around, 3, give or take.
3? Isn't that when most kids are still struggling to hold a fork?
And you held a sword.
As I said, Master was rather inexperienced in the ways of raising children. She believed trial and error was the best way to teach a child what they're capable of.
I'm not so sure this is a question of experience.
I didn't see anything wrong with her ways at the time. And anyway, children don't get to choose how they're raised. Oh, she did bring me back a pet from Liyue once. It was a Geovishap hatchling.
Yeah, what a pet.
For a pet? That seems even more dangerous.
What she said was this: make sure to get along, you two. If you really can't agree on something, just settle it with a fight. Whoever loses is the real pet.
Oh!
And how old were you when this happened?
5.
Oh shit.
Well, did you win?
No, I lost.
Damn,
So
Clorinde
you're
became a
saying
pet.
You actually became the Geobishop's pet?
Yes, but only for a week. By the end of that week, I defeated it in combat, and we've shared a cordial relationship ever since.
That really doesn't sound like the kind of childhood someone should have.
Hey, what?
Later on,
She became a
I
pet
gradually
for
understood
an
that
animal.
Master most likely didn't know any other way to raise a child. She was a marechaussee hunter, but I never heard her bring up her own parents. Thanks to her, I learned how to navigate the forest by the age of 6, and could hunt monsters in the wild by myself the year after that. Even though the training she subjected me to was strict, she always made sure to take me traveling when she had the time. We met many of her friends during those days. That was also how I met Mr. Callis and his family.
I still remember the first time we met.
Art people would
You
draw
were too
that.
scared to join our
I'm sure there's
picnic and
plenty
hid
of
behind
them.
Ms. Petronia the whole time.
I still hadn't really met many children my age at that time, so I didn't know how to interact with others.
After that, though, you started coming over a lot. You loved challenging people to shooting competitions, remember? I don't think many members of the Spina ever beat you in one of those.
I had a lot of fun during those days.
Carol putting in the
I
work with those
enjoyed them
images,
too.
huh?
Oh, do you remember that one time we went exploring around the Spina together? We overheard Papa call your master Fontaine's Protector of Justice. We tried to pretend like we never heard anything, but you nearly let it slip that one time.
Protector of Justice. Oh, wait, you mean that vigilante hero from 20 years ago? The one who is always active at night?
The what? So
Yep,
someone like
that
D-Luke
would
is
be
what
her.
you're saying.
She often would put on a black cloak and go out at night. I never knew where she went or what she was doing. Until, like Navia said, we overheard the truth from Mr. Callis that night.
20 years ago, huh? I still remember the guards leaving all kinds of witness reports about her on Nervalette's desk.
My apologies.
Oh, there's no need to apologize. You had nothing to do with it. And anyway, everything she did was for a good cause. Although, calling herself the Protector of Order was a bit much. Especially when she deliberately operated outside the law.
Huh?
Yeah.
When did the Protector of Justice become the Protector of Order?
Oh, she had a bunch of code names. I heard she would just come up with a name on the spot whenever she was asked. Later on, she probably got sick of answering those questions and decided to stick to just 2. The Protector of Justice and the Protector of Order.
That sounds like her, all right. I bet she forgot which of the 2 she'd use by the time she got back each night.
Well, she certainly sounds like a fascinating individual. With her strong sense of justice, it's no surprise her student followed in her footsteps.
It's true. I always wanted to become like her. Someone powerful, independent, and with a strong sense of conviction. But... She suddenly disappeared the night I turned 10 years old.
Disappeared? What happened?
Great,
I
another
have no
disappearance case.
She didn't even leave a note. I was never able to find out where she went. That night, I was celebrating my birthday at Navia's house. But Master never came to pick me up. When I returned home on my own,
She went to get the help.
it was to an empty house.
Oh no, she went out
When
for
she still
milk.
didn't appear after a few days, I went to Mr. Callis's house to ask about her whereabouts. But he only shook his head.
Papa probably didn't know either. I know he sent a few people to investigate the matter in secret, but they never found any credible leads.
Don't worry, I understand. To be
The
perfectly
Cocoa
honest,
Goat milk.
given Master's personality and way of doing things, it all made a lot of sense.
Totally.
If I had to guess, I'd say she probably used it as an opportunity to force me to become independent. Just like how, when a litter of kittens reaches a certain age, the mother willingly leaves them behind.
Were you upset, Clorinde?
I was at first, but not anymore. I don't believe Master would suddenly disappear for no reason. There must have been something she just had to do.
Well, despite everything,
She wanted to die off
follow in her
screen.
footsteps and become the greatest champion duelist in all of Fontaine.
That's why she
You're
left.
practically a living symbol of law and justice.
I suspect my position would be far too by the books for her. Master always did whatever she
Didn't
pleased.
sense.
But
I like how we said
You're
let's wrap it up for the day, and then it
I
just
suppose I
continues
do
with
take
more
after her in some
uninterruptible
ways.
conversation that I have no way of getting out of.
Clorinde had such an interesting past.
Also, hi Brenda Mona.
I've never
Hey,
had
thank you for the
chance to
follow.
ask
It's
her about it
appreciated.
before. I wonder if Clorinde's master were the champion duelist back then. Would that duel against Mr. Callus have gone differently? Oh no. Judging by the atmosphere, Clorinde and Navi are probably thinking something similar. The mood just got super awkward all of a sudden.
Well, anyway. Would you look at the time?
Yes,
It's
I am
getting
looking
dark,
at the
so we should
time.
probably call it a day for real this time. If we keep talking like this, we really will be here all night.
That is true.
I had a great time today, Miss Clorinde. Thank you for being our GM.
anytime.
All right.
The script was good, but
There'll
I've got to
probably
say,
not be
your
enough story
childhood
left to do
stories
another
were
stream
even
on
better.
this for
Hey,
now.
you should tell us more about that fight against the Geo-Bishop sometime. Maybe your master was onto something.
Alright, so I'll probably have to
You
wait
could
until
be
there's
right.
more voiced content. Probably like
What does she
some kind
mean,
of
onto
event.
something? I certainly don't know any 5-year-olds who want to fight a bishop in their spare time. Guess I'll head back as well. I need to save my
Alright, so we'll
energy
probably
if
have to
I
wait
want
until there's
continue
some more
enjoying the
voice acted
story
events to
tomorrow.
see the rest of this story.
You're that excited to hear about my fight with the bishop?
I was talking about the script.
Alright, I'll probably do one more thing. And that is, I will wait until the next day now. Because if there is a voice line for the next day triggering, then might as well trigger that voice line on screen. So I don't do that randomly while I'm grinding.
Let's go meet up with the group. Paimon's really looking forward to today's story.
Where's my death? What do you mean, where's your death? Yes, I did kill Klee. But apparently she got revived when I entered a loading zone or a door of resurrection or something. But as you can see, her ult isn't charged and she's low on health. That is a classic sign that, a character is dead and just got revived somehow. Alright. Time when you're free. See you soon, I hope. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and set up a raid now. Not sure who we're gonna be raiding. But we're about to find out who our target is gonna be. You know what? I think we haven't raided Maxime in a while, right? Why not? Let's do that again. Because I don't feel like looking around for too long today. Alright. So, everyone, thank you so much for watching the stream. Again, Genshin will return at some point. Yeah, likely when I have, when there's new voice acted content. Probably, as I said, an event. In any event, I'm ending it here for today. I'll see you around on Friday for FNF. And yeah, I think I still have to find some new FNF mods to prepare until Friday. Ow. I'll see what I can find until then. And obviously Saturday, we're gonna start the genocide run of Undertale Yellow, which I'm really excited about. And thanks for watching. I'll see you around. Bye bye. And as Rob hinted about a bit earlier, if you're watching this as a VOD or after it's been uploaded to YouTube, your support has also been greatly appreciated. And if you do want to catch me live in the future, you can do so by checking the description down below. There will be a link to my Twitch where I stream every single Friday and Saturday, and I do play new Genshin content usually shortly after it's released at some point during the week. In any event, see you around. Bye bye.